Good morning, it's 9 a.m. I'd like to call it Adams County Board of Supervisors to order. Sheriff, I ask you, would you start with a prayer?
Father, we thank you right now for this meeting that we're about to have on this day. Thank you for allowing us to wake up this morning just to see another day. We pray that as we conduct business, we conduct it in a professional manner going forward, Lord God, and the things of old, leave them in the past, and look forward to production in the future. And as we conduct this meeting, Lord God, let everybody have the peace of mind knowing that it's all in your hands. These are many more blessings we ask you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
We're trying to do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'd like roll call of office. Supervisor Gray?
Present.
Supervisor Hutchins?
Here.
Supervisor Middleton? Present. Supervisor Wilson?
Present.
Deputy Clerk Paige Jean?
Present.
Chancellor Clerk Brandon Lewis?
Present.
Attorney Scott Slover?
Present.
And I am present. All right, I need a motion to approve the docket.
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton and properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. In opposed?
No, Mr. President. What docket do you approve?
The docket that was sent out. These documents that was emailed out.
I ain't get them, they usually put them in my box, cause they know I can't. Do anything on there I use to vote against, I don't know. Could you let me see them and come back to the docket, sir?
All right. We'll give Supervisor Ray an opportunity to look over the docket, and we'll come back to the approval of the docket. Special presentation. Any special presentation? There being none, next order of county business is Mr. Greg West with Champion Row update.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors.
Excuse me. And will you please mute your phone? Excuse me. Online, will you please mute your phone? All right.
And all other county employees. The information that you're receiving are copies of approved minutes. In October, you approved paying for the installation of 60 signs on the fence at the safe room, pending the school district's approval to do so since they own the fence. In November, the school district had given their approval and also turned over ownership of the 30 signs that they purchased to the county. Also in November, the city did give ownership over to the county for the 30 signs that they purchased. And you have that in your minutes, copies of the minutes from them. At some point, the committee will need to meet with the county at the fence for final approval on where the sign should go. Any questions?
You heard comment from, any comment for Mr. West?
Yes, Supervisor, President Gaines.
Yes, Ms. Hudson.
This cost is our cost, right? This
Right,
1,000?
that's the quote that I presented at the meeting
Okay,
at the last time I was here.
okay. And the city is paying the same amount? Is the city paying the same amount?
No,
or
the
we-
city purchased 30 signs, the school district purchased 30 signs, and your cost is
To install?
to install it on the fence. They $1,500 a piece is what they paid out for their sign. not only are you purchased, not only are you covering the cost to install them, but then you're taking over ownership because there are more signs that will be coming. So they'll have to come to you all instead of you going to all three boards.
So what about maintaining?
Y'all own everything.
Okay.
They have to come to y'all, something happens, up to y'all what happens. We needed one entity to be in charge, and since you're there on that property, it'd be best that y'all, my thinking was, that y'all own, be owners. So in the future, everybody got to come to you with additional signs, plus if something happens to those that are put up.
Mr. West, are the signs in?
Oh, they've been in.
You know, are they waiting on us to pay this invoice to get them up, or
Yes, sir.
what, is that why you're here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I had to go to each meeting, get approval, then wait another month to get the approval approved. So I just got those
This
minutes
has been approved.
last week.
This has been approved, right? So all we have to do is,
Yes.
You was waiting on Penny,
Yeah. The school board, school board.
waiting on the school board and the city to get the signs
That's
over
already
to
done.
you all.
okay,
We don't need a motion.
all we gotta do is pay the bill.
All you do is pay
They're gonna install them and then we pay the bill, or we gotta pay them, typically don't pay in advance? Is that,
I don't know how you, I'll have to contact.
we just need a contact, can you give us the contact, we'll contact it,
That's
talk to
It's
Johnny?
on, it's on, invoice on the back.
And so that's fine.
Just have Johnny contact, get them installed and pay a bill?
Right.
All right,
Now, we will need, I don't know, a representative or something to come over to give y'all final approval, because we're all not in agreement.
On the location or what?
Now, the location is the same, but it may be on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence, or the order. I will meet, and if we can't come to an agreement, we'll need y'all final approval. So we just need a representative on how y'all,
I mean, well, you know,
I just need somebody, we need somebody from the county to meet with us over there.
You get Johnny.
yeah,
You
we'll.
can have Johnny.
If something happen, y'all can't get it straight, we'll send somebody. All right, Mr. West, that being all,
Yes, yes.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. West.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we have our other county, business, Ms. Jarkady, Baptiste Justice Court.
Oh, yeah, good morning.
Right.
I have concerns. And I'm trying, this is my first time here about justice court and abuse of power. I'm a victim. My family been
Excuse me for a minute.
That's
Scott,
impersonating.
she's talking about an employee, do she need to do it up there?
that would qualify for executive session if y'all would like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put it in executive session, so they'll have to sit tight for a little while.
Okay, that's right.
That'll allow you to speak more freely too. I know you had a couple of questions about what you can and can't say,
Yes,
but that'd be
I
a
do.
private.
All right. All right, city business. Any city business? Well, I have, some city business, county and city business. Scott, you heard anything else on Morgantown Road?
Not since I talked to you last week,
Okay.
but an update for the entire board so they know. One of the things that was gonna handle was to, transfer some of our money into where it needs to be, into that, revenues, to make sure that that money's set aside to pay, for the Morgantown Road deal, for that grant. I've got MDOT is supposed to come down and review the right-of-ways. She's supposed to be sending me a checklist of things that we need for it. She has not done it, but I sent her an email Friday and then Monday and then today. So I'm gonna stay on her until she sends me the checklist, and she'll come in and review it. George should be getting with, if you haven't already heard back from Randy, an amount for a contract for that MDOT earmark.
I was gonna do it during my presentation. You can do it in your presentation. Okay. We can wait.
As far as the NDQ stormwater grant, I've not heard back from them, other than it's with the Horn Group. They said they'd send over the grant agreement to us. First of all, they said mid-December, and then they said at the beginning of January. I'm gonna give them a call and, keep on hassling them until they get that out.
Well, I appreciate you got this with me.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
I
Supervisor
just
Brown.
want to say this. We've been dealing with Morgantown for a long time. And now that we finally got the money in place and all this, I just don't understand why it's so difficult for to get everything else straight. Because the longer we wait, prices steady going up. And the money that we got from Morgantown, if we don't hurry up and get a bid on something, then we might need some additional funds to finish Morgantown Road out because everything going up. So, I understand we talking to secretaries and all that. I think we need to talk to the head people because, to be honest with you, I really don't understand what's going on. I'm sick and tired of people putting off and putting it off and putting it off. And whatever that guy was sitting over there with Miss Baptiste, what's your name, ma'am?
Miss Jackie Betty.
Miss Baptiste was, he said he was gonna make this simple for us. And this is not simple to me.
Yeah.
Because we still going through whatever we've been going through. So maybe we need to contact that guy that was sitting over in that seat and tell him what we going through. Well, that's him that, right?
He's the head over the LS
Yeah,
VP for local project group.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Well, maybe, go ahead. You maybe can clear it up something for Mr. Brown.
Lee Frederick is over, the guy you're talking about, and he's over the LPA division. I've had a conversation with Lee Frederick, and I've expressed the urgency of the project, and his response is he understands the urgency, and he's going to expedite as fast as possible he can, but he said it's not a microwave situation. The funding is there, it's not going anywhere, but they still have steps in the process they have to go through, and that he wants to handle everything through Randy Dix, who is the district LPA.
Yeah.
But that's the one I don't trust him.
And I've expressed two things. Money does go away because the value of the dollar decreases every day, and life is in jeopardy on that, as we all well know.
And I appreciate the update, but, hopefully just continue to, get with everybody. We can keep them in a timely manner, because I do understand process. I know it's a hard process, it's waiting, but thank God we got the money, but we will just continue to do what you need to do to, the attorney and the engineer to stay in touch. All right, I'm gonna move on to departmental reports at this time.
Good morning, how y'all doing?
All right?
All right, I'm here to announce that we're gonna be having a veterans outreach on April the 7th at the Lewis County Safe Room. We will be giving out hymns for Easter, and we'll be giving out between 300 to 400. We're already in the process of aligning things up. I'm gonna go with a couple different vendors this time. We're gonna be pushing the Uniting Suicide campaign during this time frame. This campaign that the VA has come up with, and I'm having material shipped in each week from the VA, and we're just gonna meet over there and we're gonna do some other things that day. Update on the Facebook page. When we gave out the 300 turkeys in November, we got rid of every turkey. It was a good turnout and everything, but everyone that filled out paper, only 8 people had a Facebook page. So didn't make sense, didn't add up to me, so we're gonna do something different this time. My daughter will be home, so she'll be able to run my Facebook page and run the pages in her together to get people's correct name is correct. That's what they put on the paper. I typed it in, it's not pulling up. So we're gonna redo that again. Like I said, I'll have my daughter there and she'll be running the pages, and when they come in, they'll be able to just get the correct Facebook page and we can go ahead. And some people have found the page. you know, just word of mouth talking to everybody. People have found that there's a Adams County, veteran service page, so we are in the midst and still just, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, okay? That's all I can say.
Can you mute your phone? Can you mute your phone, please?
I need to get Brandon the phone.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find
Are there any questions?
question, what's the date on April?
Oh, April the 7th,
Hi,
April the 7th.
10 to 3.
10 to 3. President Game, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Supervisor.
Let me ask you a question. When you do this in April, the next one, I know there was, I had got a couple of calls, and it was about that, some veterans couldn't make it to pick up their turkeys, so they was wondering, like family members coming to pick it up.
Okay, in November, that
Get Brandon.
was strictly to see that veteran for
Mm-hmm.
enrollment, for, you know, it was drug enrollment. So it was strictly for that veteran needed to show up, not family members, the veteran. Because if you don't have power of attorney on somebody, you ain't signing your name on nothing dealing with me. So it is for the veteran in November because it's open enrollment and they have to come and do it for themselves. Not, I'm gonna call Greg to come do this for me, when Greg don't really know my situation and know what I got going on. We will not be doing that in front of me. Now, they can do it with anybody else, but they will not do it in front of me, okay? So this event.
Would that be the same thing in April?
No, no.
It's a
this-
difference in April.
There's gonna be a difference in April. We're still working on the flyer, getting the word right. But it's gonna be a difference in April. But when we do that event in November, that veteran needs to show up because we will not sign, we will not change. We ain't doing nothing with this thing. I'm sorry.
That was open enrollment.
Right.
Question, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Gray, Supervisor Gray.
Mr. Johnson, I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, we got to realize that we do have people that's bedridden and can't
at the
show
end
up.
of the
Hold on. And
Okay.
can't show up. So if they have a representative of somebody that can show up, or you can go take it to them yourself.
Or they have a power of attorney. That's the legal.
Everybody don't have a power of attorney.
But that's what the VA requires, Mr. Gray.
So
You
I tell
have
you
to
what,
have that.
I'm gonna handle mine.
Okay.
Anybody in my district, can I go take them their turkey?
You're more than welcome. I told our supervisors to come. And the only one showed up was Supervisor.
So if I can come take them their turkey, I'm not signing nothing for
Okay, but you coming at a ham this time. In November, it's an open enrollment.
them. I ain't talking about the ham, I'm talking about the other part. When you got a sign.
As long as they're not doing any paperwork there, you can come get them. Long as they're not doing any paperwork that it requires them to put their name on that paperwork with those people there for open enrollment, it's fine. You can come pick it up. I invited all of our supervisors to come to that event.
I ain't talking about, Mr. President, we talking about two different things. I'm just saying the last event where you say somebody got to sign for it.
Open enrollment.
Hold on, I'm letting you talk, let me talk. Somebody got to sign for it, so if you are not allowing nobody to sign for it, then,
Not if
hold on,
they
Ms.
have to
Johnson,
do
I'm
open
talking,
enrollment.
let me finish it, I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay.
So if nobody is allowed to sign for it as a supervisor, how can I come pick it up and take it to them and I can't sign for them either?
Okay, if they have to not to do the open enrollment part, you can pick it up. If they don't have to do nothing with the open enrollment part, you can pick it up. That's what I'm saying. But when it's open enrollment and they have to do something with that change, they gotta be the one. Or that person got to have that power of attorney, y'all. I'm sorry, that is something the VA has expressed to us. And it keeps you all, it keeps a liability out of you all because I did something and I'm not following the rules. So I'm gonna follow the rule that says they have to have a power of attorney. But if they don't have to do anything and open a room, Supervisor Gray, you're more than welcome. Anybody can come pick that turkey up, as long as that veteran don't have to do nothing with open enrollment.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, I'm gonna
Yeah.
protect
Yeah,
you,
that's-
and I'm gonna protect
that's-
myself.
We good, I understand, okay? That's fine, well, we got it clear, you got it clear, all right? But we
Nah,
good.
we don't have it.
Well, I understand, she said, if it's not signed or whatever, if you don't have to sign that, we can pick it up, but what we need to do is move forward and y'all get together, then we can settle it, get it straight, you know, y'all.
Mr. President, before we move forward, the only thing I'm saying, if somebody's bedridden and can't
I
go
understand.
somewhere, then there need to be something in place where either that office take it to them, cause they can't come get it. And they don't have power of attorney. That's all I'm saying.
All right, well, I think that's something that we need to get together, and we'll get together with, Ms. Johnson, Veteran Affairs, and we'll get that worked out. All right, Ms. Johnson? All right, thank you. All right, I'm gonna pause for a brief second. We had a motion on the floor by Supervisor Middleton and a second by Supervisor Wilson to approve the dockets. I think everybody had a chance to look at them. Any discussion on the documents?
It's just one I'm voting against, that's 1355, the first date, 2023 through the 11th, I'm voting against it.
What is that? What date?
The first date through the 11th, 2023, and it's 1355, I'm voting against it.
All right. Are you ready to vote? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. All right, can I get back in order and move on with departmental reports?
Don't be shy.
Don't take a big shot. Good morning. Well, as you know, the bills went out. Everybody's complaining. But we've got some simple stuff too. You know, Hotel View and the, Super 8, you know, they went into bankruptcy. I don't know all the details and everything, but the people that own them now, has called and asked if I could, their legal department won't let them pay the tax bill for 22 because it's not in their name. So they asked if I could change the name and give them a new PIN number so that they won't be associated with the old people. Because they filed bankruptcy and, just kind of left Hotel View and, Super 8 out by themselves. There's no, loss, they're just wanting to change the name and give them a new PIN number.
Did the 22 taxes get paid?
Not yet, because their legal department won't let them pay them because they're not in their name. It was Hotel View, they're changing it to View Hotel LLC. And like the Super 8 was Super 8, by Wyndham, they're changing it to Super 8 LLC.
They were current on the taxes, so this isn't an avoidance of prior year's taxes?
No, they just purchased it in 21.
Okay, but the previous owner did not owe any taxes?
Yes, I think they owed 18 and 19.
Okay, we'll have to look into that.
Okay.
It depends on what the bankruptcy order says and all
See,
that.
I don't know anything about the bankruptcy. So, we'll just hold off on it?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me look into it.
Just shoot it over to me and we'll take a look and see.
Okay. Creative styling, I duplicated it, and it'd be a loss of $16 off the road. I'm asking for this account to be deleted because I've already got an account for Loretta's style, or creative styling salon.
So moved.
You heard, request, it's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, proper second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All ready to vote, use the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
Loretta's Wedding Boutique, I listed it last year. It's located at 106 Meadow Lane. She called me after she got the bill and said it never took off. She said she had it for about 2 months maybe at the most. And she wanted to know if I could just take it off the road. That's $212. She closed it down after 3 months.
So it was wrongfully assessed.
Yeah, and I just listed it.
You heard the, request.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Nelson.
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President, Mr. Attorney, is it legal for us to do
It is
this?
legal, the business was shut down within 2022 year.
Yeah,
What was it before, is it April?
yes.
Yeah.
I had just listed it and she only had it open for 2 months.
I just wanna know if it's legal.
Yeah, that one's legal.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
The pillars on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Mr. Crane, when I was listing it, I asked him how many rooms he had. He said 6. When he got his bill, he called me and asked me why it was so high. And I said, well, you said you had 6 rooms that you rent out. He said, no. I only had 3. I said, well, what are the other 3? He said, mine. So, I think we both got confused on that because it's a bed and breakfast. And, so he asked me if we could change it, and that would be a loss of, $106. Change it from 6 rooms to 3 rooms.
You heard the request.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion?
Mr. President, the only discussion I have, on something like this, do you usually go out
Oh, yes, sir.
and check it and make sure that he have the 3 rooms and not the 6, or you just?
No, I was out there for the 6, but I mean, I didn't go in them because they were occupied.
So now he's saying he just have 3?
And he said the other ones were for him and, his family. He said he only rented out 3. I think both of us got crossed on what I was talking to him about. Cause he said, he was telling me that was his furniture. We do bed and breakfast by room, we don't do it by furniture
Okay.
or anything, we just do it per room.
All right, clear? All right. All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous. All right, next.
Kelly's Kids, as you know, they're shut down. I did not receive a rendition from them last year. And, Serge, I guess that's the guy that owns it, they're moving everything to Texas. But right now, they're still running a line of some type of clothing, but they did shut down the, retail store. And he asked, I told him I couldn't take it off the road because, they're still doing something out there, they're still manufacturing a small line. But, and he said, what, the store was completely closed, everything was gone from the store, so he asked if I could take the inventory off and let him pay the bill for just the equipment, because they had that store, and I did go out there, I went out there, Friday and looked. He does not have any, clothing or anything for sale out there, it's just a little bit of a warehouse. And, that would, delete $1,147 if I took the inventory out.
All right,
His bill still is about $30,000.
you heard the request, Ms. Haywood. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins.
Second.
Been properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? Ready to vote, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous. All right, next.
Gary Wood, when a leasing company renders that they sold their equipment to the lessor. I put it on the road. And in this case, Wells Fargo said that Gary Wood purchased this, piece of machinery. Well, they did, but their farm, they put it on their farm and it's over in Vidalia. So it's not here in, Adams County, so this was erroneous. When they got the bill, they called and asked, why were they getting it? But, cause their farm was over in Vidalia. So I did call the assessor over there and put it on the road. That's me doing it. It's a piece of equipment that's not here, it's in another state.
How much?
$600.
All right, you heard the request of Ms. Haywood. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. Been properly seconded by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor by using the sign of aye? Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carries unanimous. Next.
Western Auto Store. I thought I had already deleted them, but somehow or another, they got a bill this year, and I did go back and look, I deleted them in 21. But they got a bill this year for, $1,300. Of course, it's appliance, something out there now.
Appliances and more.
Yeah, and, but this is $1,300.
Do you have appliances and more on the tax roll?
So it'd be kind of double assessed in a way.
You heard the request. You heard the request of Ms. Haywood. Can I get a motion? It's been moved by Supervisor Wilson.
Second.
It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Not any discussion.
Middleton made the motion.
Yeah, you said it, and you said, all right, you had
Yeah,
discussion.
discussion is, okay, is there two stores in the old Western Auto building now? Aren't that, didn't they separated it?
Right, and the other one goes on 23,
Okay,
the 23.
so half the bill,
Yeah,
for furniture or whatever, we talking about
Appliances.
furniture here, or, okay,
appliances.
okay, not the building itself,
No, I don't do real property.
okay.
They're the same owner.
No. Well,
And more-
they wasn't saying they were the same owner. They may be, but I've got Appliance Plus, but I don't have the second one. Cause they were just fixing it up whenever I went out there.
Are they different than Western Auto, one that had a bunch of money?
Yeah.
Any more discussion? We ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous. All right, next.
Webb Furniture on Franklin Street. He called and said he closed 2 years ago. Told him he'd have to pay the back taxes, but we might could help him on these taxes. Mr. Mike, he's super sweet. I mean, he said he didn't know that he was supposed to let me know. So he's asking for $600 to come off the road for 22.
All right, you heard the request from Ms. Haywood. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? Are ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous. Next.
And this is completely my fault. I just asked y'all for about $3,000 off the road. So I wanna put back on the road $215,246.19. On Merritt Hospital, I put the wrong code in. So,
Are they aware of this?
oh yeah, we've already discussed it.
And they joined in, they're okay with the addition?
Yeah, they're good with it, because, I called it whenever I was doing some, stuff for the auditor, and I let them know then that it was the wrong code and the bill was gonna be wrong. But I had to wait for them to get the bill, to see it, do that, because they got a bill for $1,300, and their bill is more like $356,000. So, $215,246 back on the road this year.
All right, you heard the request of Ms. Haywood. Can I get a motion?
So.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Mr. President, so
Discussion.
they did pay last year,
Oh, yeah,
it's just only this year.
just this year, 22, yes, sir.
Any more discussion?
Yes, as long as they're okay with it, then we can do it. If not, you have to notice them that you're increasing their taxes.
I did,
I'm not telling you
need
to
to-
void
you
it.
need- Oh,
And you said that you notify them they're okay with it. What I'm saying is, if they were not
Oh.
okay with it, we would have to serve them notice and have a hearing on it.
okay. Yeah, they know about it.
And they're not objected to it or whatever.
No.
All
Straight
right.
with it.
Any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous. Anything else?
Yes, sir, I got the real property this time too. Concordia Bank, has a piece of property at 744 Kingston Road. Somehow or another, we put it, we left it on the road, but the house burned in 21, from what I can understand. I did go out there, there's no house out on the property. 744 Kingston. And they're wanting to, take the house off. That's way out in the county too.
You say it burned,
And you did
go.
going.
and you did go,
Yes,
okay.
yeah, I get to, right. I don't do the real property, but I do get to go and look at this stuff.
All right, you heard the, request of Ms. Haywood. Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Milton. Can I get a second? It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Mr. President, I want to get a clear understanding. Now, you say you taking 21 off,
No, it burned in late 21,
one.
but, and nobody notified us. So I'm just taking the house off for 22. The land's still gonna be on there.
So they paid 21?
Yes, sir. It burned after the, after the, time.
Okay.
And you assess property as of January 1.
One.
Real property as of January 1. So if the house was freestanding January 1, 2022, this assessment would stand. But she was saying it burned before that.
Burned, they said sometimes in September of 21. So they were there January 1 of 21. Does that make sense?
I got you.
Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous. All right, next.
Robert Brown at 606 Lower Woodville Road, I'm sorry. He came in to see Wayne, and they got to talking, and somehow or another, he's had the wrong square footage on his house for years. Of course, he's over, 65, so he's got the over 65 exemption. But they're wanting, Wayne's wanting to, lower his square footage this year. Because, and he says it's been on there the same amount for years, and the man's been paying it and never even knew it. Until he came in and Wayne went out there and remeasured it and done all this, that, and the other. So,
All right.
they're wanting, it's $400.
All right, you heard the request of Ms. Haywood. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. Next.
Robert and Lester Dollar on Jack Kelly Road. Somehow or another, the wrong cost of the land got on there and it went up to about $35,000. And so we're asking for it to go back to the original cost. Wayne put the wrong, amount on there. He kinda
Is the scrivener there,
fat fingered it,
the typo?
yeah.
What's the cost?
What's,
Decreasing us 1416.
1,400?
Yes, ma'am, 1416.
You heard the request of Ms. Haywood. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Milton. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously. Next.
On Old Highway 84, number 3, JFH Lands. They have a mobile home on here, but it's not on this piece of property. In other words, this one's double assessed. The mobile home is being double assessed on Mobile Home Road and on the real road. So we're asking it to be taken off the real road for a tune of $673.
You heard the request of Ms. Haywood. Can I get a motion?
So,
Well, it's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton and properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Mr. President, just the first year was double
Yes.
assessed?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously. All right, next.
Jerry Robert Buckles, this is the same thing, it was double assessed, for a tune of $900.
All right,
Liberty Road.
you heard the request of Ms. Haywood. Can I get a motion?
so moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson.
Second.
It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion?
Amount.
900.
900, 91512 exactly.
All right,
And
any more discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. Next.
Mr. Slover, this may be for you, that Beehive place out there, the Magnolia Manor Properties, Natchez.
I do not own a beehive.
I mean, I don't want to go out there yet, but you know, it is a nice place. They brought in a certificate of occupancy from the building inspection place up here at the city, I guess. Wayne put it on the road, the Beehive. They said they didn't open till February the 15th. They were not open on January 1. So he said, let you look at this and see if we can delete it or what.
Okay.
Whatever will be referred to the lawyer for,
Yeah, eventually we'll be bankruptcy now over there.
yeah, he'll look at it for further legal review and, advise us and we'll handle it on the next meeting.
The way it works for the board, if it's really a discretion, most of these are discretionary with the board, although they're appealable, but most of them are discretionary within the board, so we need enough to satisfy ourselves that it was in fact not operable until after January 1, 2022, to be able to reduce.
All right.
Mr. President, is that
Yes, sir.
inside the city limits?
Yes.
It's up there by the deed. Is that
So did they get a permit
a permit from the city?
to operate a business?
Oh, I don't know, I'll check that.
Yeah, cause if they got a permit, then the office right down there tell you when they got the permit. So if you get a permit to open up a business on a certain day and you don't open it up till 2 months later, I mean,
I'm going with permit, yeah, I'd go with permit.
could we check into that, Mr. Sir?
Absolutely, that's why I was telling you, I wanted y'all to tell me what satisfies y'all as to when they were operating. We can get permits and take a look, probably get a sales tax info too, if they're less.
Mr. Glover, is that not something you prorate if they open like 2 months later, they just get a pass on the whole year? Is that what you're
Exactly,
saying?
they get a if they open January 2nd, they get a pass for that particular year.
Whole year.
But, just like if their house burned down January 2nd, they got to pay the entire tax.
That's right.
for the year.
That's kind of funny because January 1st is everything's closed because it's a holiday.
Yeah,
As is usually January 2nd, so that's a very odd dating system. Okay,
All right.
I don't write the laws, I just tell you what they say.
Yeah.
I got you.
Well, no further discussion. You have anything else?
On the backside, I'll be back at the next board meeting to put the Beehive on there for the personal part.
Yeah.
I just received all that this year.
Yeah,
how
so
much-
to be clear, personal property is April 15th, correct? Or April 1st, I'm sorry. April 1st of each.
And how much was that one you just called out?
24,870.
24,000.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're gonna let the, lawyer investigate and we're gonna move on. All right, we'll see you on next meeting. Thank you. Next, departmental report.
I'm gonna quit here.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
Bree Cook, Emergency Management, I'm coming on behalf of request of approval for travel for Robert Bradford for February the 1st to the 2nd and start the bill for Mississippi 911 coordinated planning meeting.
We have.
There's no cost involved, so.
No comments, so moved.
No comment. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor, Wilson to approve the travel with no cost involved for the county for, emergency management, Robert Bradford. Any discussion? No discussion? Are ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carries unanimously. Stop this.
Okay, I'm requesting travel for myself, February the 5th through the 10th for Emergency Management Basic Academy. That'll be my last part, which will be graduation, and that'll be February the 5th through the 10th in Pearl, Mississippi.
You heard the, request, and I do have a travel request, here.
So
So
moved.
can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Okay, and one last thing, for you, Mr. President, to sign off on our MPG, which is our Emergency Management Performance Grant that we sign off every year.
All,
I
huh?
have a copy to give to you.
All right, well, give it to the attorney, we'll take care of it.
Okay,
All right?
that's all I have.
Can I get a motion to sign the, contract
Pending,
pending the legal review?
so moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Cocky Martin, the comptroller for Adams County. I'm bringing to you the information about recreation. The first one is about the rodeo arena. We have two quotes, one from Miles Construction and one from Dunn Construction. Miles Construction, his overall quote is for the interior, exterior, the concession stand, the bathrooms, the women and men bathroom, and the press box. His total is $54,710. And with Dunn's Construction, he also includes the concession stand, interior, exterior, the restrooms, and the press box. His overall total is $75,000.
And that is the same, material.
Correct. It does have a harder board for the exterior of the concession stand.
All right. Well, can I get a motion to move with the lowest bid?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and
Second.
second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have this discussion. And this is coming out the recreation money?
It's recreation.
Okay, so we did have to get these bids for this. Okay.
All right. Any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. All right.
I also
Yeah.
have a quote for Providence Park. Mr. Miles did a quote for the concession stand at Providence. He didn't quote on the gutters and everything, but I plan to get with him to get a quote for the gutters, but he did an individual quote for the concession stand in the amount of $10,850. And Mr. Dunn's Construction also submitted a quote for the concession stand in the amount of $18,500.
You heard the bid,
Yes.
heard the request, or how would you? How would
Need
you,
a motion,
no, we just see.
Miles? We
right?
got the
Motion
bid.
to.
I need a
take the
motion.
lowest.
Take the lowest bid.
So,
So it's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton and, properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion?
I do have discussion, Ms. Martin, what is the scope of work on that?
For Mr. Miles,
Just, yeah.
for Mr. Miles, it's removing all shingles on roof, removing damaged, sheeting on roof, removing the damaged fascia boards, removing the damaged plywood, applying new plywood, applying felt underlayment, new metal drip eave on roof, new shingles on roof, and new fascia board and socket around building. Also installing brackets and wood bracings on window covers to allow windows from being open from the outside. And also includes priming and paint of the exterior of the building.
Thank you.
All right, any more discussion?
Both of those, apples to apples, right?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
All right, any more discussion? Are you ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. All right.
We were able to get the.
Oh, excuse me, 1 second.
This isn't stopping us from doing what y'all are doing now, but we're gonna need to get a budget for that particular fund. But this isn't stopping what we're doing, I'm just letting you know.
I thought we had one budget already.
We've got a general amount, just a gross amount, we don't have it itemized out, so.
All right.
excuse me, are you
Yes.
talking about a budget for each?
Just line item it, everything, not, it's just within the auditorium line items, it does not stop us from doing what you're doing now.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
All right, next.
I was able to get a second quote for the concrete for Providence. He just quoted on the labor being that the, material will be the same. He did $3,400 for the labor. Mr. Roosevelt Cade and Mr. Henry White, did $2,900 for labor. But the overall total for the material is $2,924.86.
All right, you heard the request of the, what she had to purchase,
That's for Providence.
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 For Providence Concrete. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton,
Second.
and it's been properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
This to accept whites.
This is accept
29.
2,900, the lowest bid.
Right.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir, Supervisor.
Supervisor Miller,
Yes,
is
sir.
this the one going around where you stop the water from?
Yeah, so it's a gap between the
I-
pavilion and the, yeah, it's really our only option. We've looked at other,
Any more discussion? Are you ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. All right, next.
We did acquire a quote from Mr. Miles for Broadmoor, but we're waiting on the second quote from Mr. Dunn. He's supposed to have it to me tomorrow. But his quote was for the Broadmoor Park Center.
well,
Quote.
Quote.
Whoa.
And what is regarding?
The Broadmoor, the up.
she doesn't have to give the amount
No, yeah.
though.
Don't give his amount because he had not turned his
Right.
bid in.
That would give him a
We'll
competitive.
just have to, we'll just have to take care of that on the next meeting.
Okay.
All right?
And what is this for repairs or what?
A Broadmoor.
A blow or what, the
This
concession
is,
stand?
yeah.
This,
The
okay.
park. This is for, interior and exterior repairs of the Park Center and the press box and the dugout.
But I think, well, that'll be fine. I think, the dugout.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of went out and got close to what we need and everybody on that. Because I think these supervisors kind of been meeting with the folks in those areas.
Okay.
All right, and so we'll wait on the next quote. We appreciate it. You have anything else for us?
I have a question for
Thank you.
Where are we on the rest of the, equipment? How are we coming with it?
I've ordered, based on the original quotes from Great Southern, I have ordered, numerous equipment for the different areas, different parts. I'm waiting on to get back with Mr. Bailey about the actual structures. But as far as the, actual toys and everything, those have been ordered from Summit Supply.
What are we gonna do about the removal of the equipment on the parks, of the other equipment, old equipment?
And well, the city did it, they got some bids for demolition. I'm assuming we could do the same thing unless Robbie's gonna volunteer to do it.
Cause I'll say, I don't, for the parks that I'm over, I don't have much, so we not gonna, the little bit probably from, the little bit I'm gonna move around, I don't have anything in it. Whoever put it up can kinda do mine, it's not major what I
I
have.
spoke with Johnny, that's what me and Johnny
Yeah.
was talking about back there, about some in the concrete, what to do, talking about saw cutting it, and then chipping it down and pulling it out, and you put the new end and pull back around it where it would be.
Equipment, I'm talking the equipment.
That's what me and
Y'all
Johnny
gonna
talking
move the
about out here
equipment?
this morning, but yeah,
Okay.
it came out, but like I said, speak with Johnny about it, but he was asking me my thoughts on it, and he was talking about it this morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds great.
All right,
Yes, he
any more questions?
So, that's the removal
Yeah.
part, what about putting it in? Who gonna do that?
Yeah,
Contract.
contractors.
Okay.
Well, I know, Dinah with maintenance, they are installing some of just, your.
Smaller things,
The smaller things, but the actual structure itself is gonna be through.
contract that,
Through the contract.
yeah. Any more questions? All right, we thank you. You have any questions for us?
No.
All right, next, departmental report.
One,
Good morning.
I just have a couple things, have requests for travel to Pearl, Mississippi, to Mississippi Forestry, just to take a look at, they called me, we talked Friday, they have fire truck in, just a program, vehicle program they have for $100. And they have a fire truck in and we'll look at a couple of other, trucks they have, pickup trucks, to replace the brush trucks that we have.
So moved.
All right, so we don't need the paperwork in it. It's just,
It's just a move.
he's just going to look at stuff, so we don't have any paperwork, so all we need is to reflect the minutes that he's moving, right? Just for clarification. All right, it's been properly, moved by Supervisor Milton, and who's properly second? Supervisor Wilson, that, he, permission to travel to look at trucks and equipment. What date? Going to Thursday,
Yeah,
the 19th?
yeah.
Thursday, January 19th. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
And tomorrow, we're looking at severe weather, possibly, we're in a slight risk. And the timing of between noon and 10 p.m. And saying the timing may change, so we're gonna kind of keep eye on that today. But again, severe weather, supposed to be possible tomorrow, Wednesday afternoon till 10 p.m. And the same with, strong winds possible also. And that time is 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And if we go under a tornado watch, we'll have a safe room open. We go under any kind of tornado watch, anything, safe room will be open.
All right.
That's all I have.
All right, you have it, will y'all go to Tag North if
Yeah,
you
we
need?
go take north, if we do get anything.
All right, well, keep us advised. We appreciate it. Thank you. Next,
All right.
departmental reports.
Good morning, I'm not sure if this is the area, but it's not.
Departmental report.
Departmental report.
Good morning, board.
Good morning.
First thing I have is full dirt request,
Report. All right.
John Williams,
Hmm.
2007 Lotus Drive.
All right, can you just do them?
Yeah. I'm
All
gonna
at
go
one
for
time?
Linda Herbert, 1140 Liberty Road.
Yes.
Ernest Ford, 1333 MLK. Linda Land, 27 Meadow Ridge.
All right, you have, 4 requests for spoiled dirt, and I do have the paperwork. Can I get a motion to approve the spoiled dirt?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Yeah, you're adopting the findings therein on that list.
All right, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Last board meeting, we discussed 21 Southview Drive. Hadn't got a letter or anything from Attorney Slower, but I did write out one day last week just to look, to try to get an idea of what, how to start or what to do. He's moved a lot of that material down into the bay, now those bumpers and things like that was off his vehicle. He happened to be there. Like I said, he asked me what I was doing, told him I was assessing what we were gonna have to do to get it cleaned up and all. Said he's been cleaning up on it. He said before the county comes on his property, he would request a survey of knowing where we were going and what we were doing and what we were getting.
Who's this?
At 21 Southview Drive.
Huh.
But like I said, I just had went out myself just to get an idea of where we were gonna start, because he has moved it all down in the bottom and down in the hole. And I just let the board know what he had mentioned, but I told him we'd be back to clean it up.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Supervisor Gray.
Mr. Attorney, is that not the state of Mississippi property?
That's right.
So we don't need nothing from him.
Understand, but I told him when I come back, I'd have somebody with me to give, we'd get access to the property.
Okay.
We need to. I just wanna give an update that I had to go look myself. The other one at 10 Ratcliffe, we've been dealing with it, trying to do some cleaning up and all. I had got another phone call, and I think, President Gaines had got a phone call.
Yes.
And I did go back out and take some more pictures of it. Like I said, he's made a little progress, but he hasn't made a lot. He's moved a lot of vehicles around. It's still a really bad mess out there. It's bad. I have the pictures here, some updated pictures of it. If y'all want.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to look at it.
Excuse me, board, but, yes, I had a couple calls, and they had said traffic actually has picked up. And if you look at the pictures, it has not been a lot done. So, Scott, what direction do we need to move forward with, on this? Yeah.
Well, if we adjudicated it as a menace, we entered the order adjudicating. I thought we had entered it and were kind of holding off until.
We were giving him a chance, I
We
think
gave-
90 days or something.
Yeah, to make some improvement, to see what kind of improvement.
When all you've done is move things around.
Look, we got-
Sheriff, isn't this individual hadn't even been locked up a couple times
Yeah, that's the one.
recently? Is he in jail now?
No.
Another one of them in and out, huh? Turn a key. Bring your own key.
Like I said, I went by that Thursday, and he was there too, and I was taking pictures, and he flagged me down, so I spoke with him too. And he's not real pleased, but I told him we're gonna have to do what we gotta do. I mean, it's still, we just have to do complaints.
I'll get with the president and with Robbie, and if we entered adjudication, like I think that we did, then they can proceed on.
Yeah.
So we can proceed on.
All right, well, we got next.
Thank you. The city sent an email over, asking about what striping projects and asphalt we were doing. And, the extent that they're asking about 3 or 4 different roads where we gonna stripe, well, there's 3 on here. And none of them on our striping list. One of them's Highland Boulevard, is on there. The other is, Palestine, which would be by ACCS down through that way, there. And the other is Colonel Pitcher. None of those are on ours, and I think they're trying to just get ready for a striping project when they're doing their asphalt too. And I just told them I'd bring it before the board, but it's, we don't have it on ours, so I just told them I'd bring it before the board, that's what I need.
Well, if they're gonna add it to that, excuse me, Supervisor Hutchins, they're gonna add, they can add it to that?
That's what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
gonna discuss it with them, but I told them I'd bring it before our board and let them know that it was not on ours.
Okay, well, Supervisor Hutchins,
That's fine.
okay, all right,
Thank
okay.
you. 4-year road plan,
I have,
I know at any time we can add to it. I do have 2 roads that I would like to add to it as of now, but just to make sure y'all, road don't accept what we have, but the 2 I got is Gator Road and Sagefield.
all right. While we on the 4-year road plan, I was gonna do it in my report. You heard, Rob, have everybody had a chance to look at the road, ride the road? Are we ready to accept it? All right, I need a motion to accept our 4-year road plan.
I have to give him the roles that I need to add.
But he-
But we can
And
Okay,
we'll
we
sit
can
down
add
each
it
time.
anytime
I'll
of
just
year.
bring it before the board, once I get them, what
Yeah.
I'm saying, we'll bring it before
So-
the board.
You can amend them.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I get a motion to accept the 4-year road plan?
So,
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
In that same motion, you're gonna add the 2 roads as well, or you want to do separate?
You can,
separate.
Separate motion.
motions.
okay, we can do a separate motion, we go. All in favor, are we ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using sound aye. Aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Now I need a motion to add those 2 roads, Gala and Sagefield. So can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second? It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Yeah, this is, you're adding these public roads
Correct.
to the road plan and getting them fixed.
Correct.
I was just making clear.
Yes,
what I-
That's
That's what
overlay
you're
this.
supposed to do.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
a good overlay this.
All right, are we ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carries now. All right, next.
While we on roads, got an email, I think, Mr. Wilson, maybe got one, and Ms. Hutchins, out in the forest, Gonzales, those roads out through that area, which we've had trouble over the years, you know, those roads are private roads out through there. Some of the residents and hunters think they're public roads. I spoke with the engineer this morning, and gonna talk to him some more about it, but like I said, all the information we gather for it out of the county, they are private roads, but I'm gonna get with him and, give him a map of them and, you know, see what he come up with. Like I said, on our road records, they are showing, they are private.
And I think I did spoke with some of them out there
You have,
before and
in the
told them
past.
that they was,
You have.
private.
And they got water lines running all down the middle of those
Correct, down the
roads,
middle of the
so
road.
you even try to fix them, you're gonna bust the water lines left and right.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Sitting there.
Spoke with Johnny this morning, we've been getting some calls from the extension office out there at the old IP site. That parking lot is in bad shape. I rode out Thursday and looked at it, and, got a lot of mud and stuff settling in, the asphalt broke up, you know. And me and Johnny was discussing, it needs to be overlaid. And I was just gonna ask the board what their thoughts were, which way we could go if we could find a little money to asphalt that. While we're doing this asphalt project, would that be okay?
And which road is that?
It's the extension office that belongs to the county out there at the paper mill, where the Mississippi State Extension is, that building belongs to the mill. It's the parking lot coming down the hill there, it's right in the front, it's not all around the building, it's just the front part. But when they have, classes and stuff, they park in the old IP lot and walk across the visitors. So, I'll get with Johnny, maybe get a price, if that's all right with the board, and bring it back while we're doing this asphalt project, see what it would cost. Okay, thank you. Burke Road Bridge, I mentioned last board meeting, that I was gonna go out and meet a guy that puts in temporary bridges. We had went out and looked about lifting this bridge and offsetting this bridge and getting it tossed, about doing it. This bridge is not gonna be big enough to offset the one that's there in the shape it's in. It would be too low and to the ground. But, I would like to try to get out and get another price or two and speak with the person clerk on this and get back with the board, of what it would cost to put a 90-foot temporary bridge in to get those, residents in and out. And I have spoke with the engineer about this as well, you know, what we need, load ratings, things like that, to make sure they are able to get in and out.
How long is the project gonna last?
What we say, 3 or 4 months?
Yeah, it's gonna take about 3 months to get to construction, to complete construction, once we have the project.
That work over there, that's off that bridge.
So, I was just gonna get the purchase and try to get out and maybe get some prices that way on the bridge. See if I can get some information back to the board, on how far out we are on that bridge, how much time do we have. I know we're waiting right away from the, refuge to sign, but, anyhow, okay. Thank y'all for that. The 11 sites that I submitted to the NRCS or EWPs that was under the rain event in December, we submitted them in January. Still waiting on Mike Gray to go out and do his survey and do the local level, and he get back with us. I don't have any answers. I've had a few people that's asked us, what it looks like or whatever, but I don't have any information on those yet. We're waiting on Mike. He's been out with surgery.
Robbie, I need some help talk to Norm.
That's my next. Talked to Norman last week on those sites, about getting the reimbursement of that 700-something thousand, and, we're working on that, so that should be getting.
Yeah, just let me know.
I'll let you know, but we're working that with my next deal that you had sent it, so we're working with him to try to get reimbursed for that.
Just let it, what we need to do, and then what's the ETA of funds would be helpful.
Okay. South Palestine, had a call last week, resident call. Went out, took a look at what we looked at, was seeing what part of that road was state aid. The part that state aid's in good shape, which is gonna be the last 2 miles on the Kingston Road in, which is down around the Boyd White area from him out. Was gonna try to see if we could get something in line for state aid on that, but the way it looks, to get state aid funding on the road, it has to be up to standard, so much base, so much drainage, ditches and things like that. I don't believe the road would, qualify for that. That road, as I said before, sitting here, is probably one of the worst roads in Adams County. I just don't know, we're gonna need to try to find some funding somehow to do part of that road, some of that road, or we're gonna let this loop. I mean, it's just, it will beat you to death. I don't know what other funds the county might have available, if it's any available. Ma'am?
I'm gonna have to use some of that ARP money because that road is, when I say horrible, we rode it last week. I rode it again, Friday.
Yeah.
I ended up riding it again Friday.
Okay.
I was trying to see how many miles that road is. And, that road, can't nobody get down it, and I get so many complaints. A lot of people going to work that way, and then the owner down there is complaining about it. It's just, it's
A lot of
horrible.
them, like I said,
Have you
with the
got
Baker's
complaints
gas.
on it too?
It's like, you better be on your P's and Q's when you
It's a
drive.
terrible road, and the worst part, Angela, I measured it myself, it's 6.3 miles is the bad part, and then
Right.
about 2 more miles toward the end, it's an 8.3 mile road, and like I said, the last 2 miles is in pretty good shape, which that's what, Mr. White had called about, not that part, but the other part. And, he traveled through that delivery road sometimes, but he quit now that the road is in such bad shape, and that's the reason I just want to bring it before the board and get it on, your mind or whatever, of what we can do if it's any other funds like.
But we're gonna have to do that rolling section. It's so long, it's what, 8-some miles, but if we can do 2 miles each year or something like that, do it in parts, would be great, because it's in some parts, you have a section that we can skip over and then
Correct.
start up again.
The first 2 miles, and then I think it was about a mile and a half or so, then it was about a half a mile of good section.
Right.
And then, like I said, I sort of broke it down, but if we could get about 2 miles of it right now, we would.
Would be, yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the name of this road?
Just
South Palestine.
South Palestine.
That'll be ready when you go down.
So,
Yeah.
it's not on the 4-year road plan?
It was on there.
It's on a 4-year road
So
plan.
why are we not doing it? If it's that bad?
The money.
8 miles.
It's 8 miles, and the money wasn't available to do the 8 miles, and that's what I'm saying. Over the next 4 years, we need to look at trying to do sections of it somehow with some funding, is what I'm getting at. We could have done a half a mile, we could have
My
done this,
question
but
is, it's one of the worst roads in Adams County, and it's on the 4-year road plan. Why we didn't do 2 point something miles now, if it's that bad?
gonna be like almost $1 million.
Not for 2 point.
No, come out.
But
for
to do
8
it all,
miles.
it would be like $1 million
Yeah.
to try to do it and to stay within our budget of what
That
money
ain't
we
what I'm
have.
talking
I understand what you're talking about. I give you
I'm
correct.
just going by the facts. You say it's one of the worst roads in Adams County.
Once we
And
do
hold on, you say it's one of the worst roads in Adams County. And it's on the 4-year road plan. And we got all this money to do roads and then do nothing on that road. Why we didn't do 2
Once we
miles
do
or
what
whatever
roads-
the case may be?
Once we do what roads we're doing now, this will be the worst road. And like I said, it ranks with some of the worst roads that's out there now, what I'm saying. Once we do what we're doing,
Then
this
it
road
becomes-
here, correct, this road here is gonna be,
Now you make me
before our
understand.
next 4 years is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We need to start making some.
Let me tell you this road is worse than some of the roads we're doing.
But part of the deal is that there's not a lot of residents on that road either. That's a little more of a hunting road than it is anything else. Now, I thought, Robbie, at one time there was a discussion of turning some of that back to gravel.
It was, we went and looked at it, Kevin, and if you do that, and take it all up, then you got problems with the chunks of asphalt that you're gonna continue with for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, they'll
Trying to
always be
get it
coming
out,
back out.
correct.
Busting cars up. It's just a,
I've rode this road in the last 3 months, probably 10 times, trying to figure out a better way to do it.
it was bad 20 years ago and it's.
Still bad.
One of them that we had some money way back yonder, let's put something on it,
All right, well,
and it worked.
we can Supervisor Hutchins.
Right. I told him to look at about 2 miles and see
Okay.
what it would cost us to do about 2 miles of this road. And maybe we could use some ARP money to try to at least do 2 miles.
Okay. All right, Robbie, you heard, request of Supervisor Hutchins that's in our area. Look at about 2 miles or so.
Get it
Y'all
all
get
stuff,
together.
and
All right?
I'll get it back to the board, thank y'all. The last thing I have, and I brought it up every meeting, the last couple of meetings, is, the Jackson Florida interview for me, going up there to interview for the secretary job of the Road Manager Association. Spoke with Tommy again over, he's called again, and I told him I was waiting to get some information before the board. And that's next week, that, I think the 25th or 26th is the day she interviews or whatever, but if she does get the position, it will cost the county around $2,500 is what, I went and looked at it. And I just, we'll bring it back up. It's at the end of the
All right, well, you heard Robin, we had talked about it, her first trip is gonna be paid for, out of her own pocket if she is elected. And the question is, if she's elected, the county willing to help, pay, so, I think we've been familiar with it. What's the pleasure of the board? If it is the pleasure of the board, can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Milson and properly, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Mr. President, I mean, I really don't have a problem with what we're doing, but we got to treat all our employees the same. And we had a previous employee that still work here, and this is the first time we paying for her to move. And she been doing this for how long? She been doing this since I've been on this board, and that's almost 8 years. And it was a problem paying her travel. But now, we need to do better than treating everybody the same. I'm just saying, because I'm not down with treating people different. And that's what I see. I don't have a problem with her going to be on the board to represent Adams County. But if we got other employees that doing the same thing, then they need to be compensated too.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
I totally agree. Any more discussion?
I mean, if that wants to be in your policy.
You put it in your policy. That's where we do that from this part.
Well, I don't have a problem with it, but we can't wait till certain employees
No.
get an opportunity to do whatever and then we want to change the policy.
And that's the thing, we have it in place on the front end.
That's right.
It's a lot more difficult to change the
So-
policy.
Right now, I'll say this, Supervisor Gray, before I take this, on my part of the discussion, is we're gonna move forward with it, because we gotta move forward with it. If we're gonna move forward with it, we need to put it in policy now and move forward with it.
How much is it?
25, what's the exact price, 2,500?
Around 2,500.
Around 2,500. All right, any more discussion? All in favor, you can vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Mr. President,
Well, yes, sir, Supervisor Gray.
but y'all make sure y'all reflect that in the minutes.
In the
what I
minutes?
said.
What is
When we get minutes, that be reflected in the minutes.
in the minutes that all the
So,
employees?
so if some of us is not here, then it's part of the minutes that we won't treat everybody the
The
same.
same.
I'm gonna send a memo with the policy in place.
That's what I've been saying, I was gonna make a motion that we also insert that in our policy, our personnel policy.
All right, can I get a motion to assert, treating all employees the same when it comes to travel? Is that the motion?
No, it's just,
No,
the
it's just
motion
part
would
of the
be to
motion.
pay for their
Pay for their
travel
travel.
expense
Right.
when it comes to travel.
Yeah, we'll put in the terminology that needs to be in there while we're allowing travel, pay for this travel and things like that. It is already our policy that we treat everyone the same based on certain protected classes, absolutely, and it's already in there. But when it comes to taking positions and getting travel on that, we'll put that into the policy.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make a clear motion so we'll know exactly what the motion is. Yeah. All right, so we'll change our policies to accommodate all employees when it comes to travel. Is that the clear motion, Supervisor Hutchins? So it's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
And I'll email y'all drafts if you want to make sure it's what everyone expects it to be.
Well, you do.
You finished? Well,
Yeah, I'm through.
All right, Scott, do we need to deal with, Robert, do we need to
Any
deal
questions?
with, we just talked about this property, do we need to take care of this now?
Oh, this still on here?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you
Mr.
want to go ahead and
President,
put it.
Yeah.
before Robert leave, could you check on 55 Pineview Drive?
Yeah,
I think you've been out there before, but I got a call last night, could you got some erosion behind that trailer?
okay. One more thing, I said I was due. Scott, I know you sent me the email about, these NOLA cameras and meeting and things like that, or what it would cost the utility companies. Like I said, I think we need to set up a meeting with them to make sure they're on board of what we're doing on these NOLA cameras, because I think they were sort of left out the way I'm, getting information from them. I hadn't spoke with Energy, but I spoke with Southwest, and I spoke with Les in the Lorman office, and then I spoke with Austin, which is a local guy that goes out and surveys where to put poles and things like that. To do this, they don't have a problem setting poles or whatever we need, but once it was sent to me about getting the power hooked to them, that was something maybe we need to get with.
Yes, and I did talk to Frank Smith, Sheriff
Yeah.
gave me the number for Project NOLA guy. I talked to the Project NOLA guy, he says that the type of video cameras that we have, all you need is power. That should be all that you need. So that's the only utility we need is to get with the power company. He said that some power companies are really cooperative, some of them not so much. I don't believe we'll have problems with Energy here, and certainly not with
Like I said,
Southwest. It's just getting with them
I
and
think Claiborne doing the same thing in Claiborne County, and I think Les is working with them up there.
he said most of the time, most of the places pay something like $10 a month per camera, although the cost of the power in more than
And I
$1 a
guess my
year.
question is, like, the two cameras that they sent on Providence Park and to Kingston Street, they put them on the ball field poles, and I guess that would be a personal pole of the county's, is the county responsible for those powers to those cameras, or would it be utility companies?
Ask that question, I don't wanna answer it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, I just think it was something that was probably telling Scott when they were telling me, and then I got to checking with the utility companies. I think we missed a step in that process of trying to get us, trying to get to that point.
All right. Anything else to, Mr. Middleton?
Mr. Wilson had something.
Go ahead, Wes.
Robbie, I received a call last week, 1319 Lower Woodville Drive, which is actually your side. Again, that's just people confused about, but she got some complaints about the ditches.
Okay.
She said they came out there and it's caused some erosion. She's somewhere just a little north of Sibley Dollar Store on the backside.
Yeah.
If you could get them to go check that. She said the ditches were, after they cleaned them out, they didn't clean them right, causing erosion.
1319.
Yes, sir. Miss Lee is her last name. And then also, can we get the pothole patches on, Lake Montrose Road, please? Thank you.
All right, Supervisor Wilson, did you have anything?
Okay. Robbie, that, culvert I talked to you about down in Meadows. The Fox.
Uh-huh.
Did y'all get
Went
that?
through there, we're on a rod through that one. That goes wide open.
Okay. Maybe some kid pulled a basketball out of it.
The inverts are reversed. I've shot grades off.
He says that now, that's what's wrong with it.
What's wrong with it?
The inverts are opposite.
He said the upstream's higher than the downstream.
Who put that culvert down? It wasn't.
Or lower.
Probably George got it,
Higher,
yes.
That's
So-
what's wrong. If the culvert's wide open, we run a rod all the way through it, you know. it's all-
So how can we fix that problem, or is that a landowner issue? Because he's not very cooperative, I understand, with the local residents.
Who we talking about?
Where they hit that?
Down in the Meadows.
Yes,
I don't know if I can say the doctor's name.
I kinda done my own work right there because I live there, but then one, that thing reversed, and then when Henry Farmer built the house that Todd and Little Lewis live in now, that invert under his driveway is the same as the one that comes under Cherry Barn. So that would, it's basically flat from one invert to the other invert.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have to be dug up, and that driveway would have to be dug up, put a new culvert under that one as well. But it really, it floods all the way across the street when we
Is,
get heavy rain.
this a situation where the landowners would have to buy the culvert, but we put them in, Robbie?
Yep, we don't do any concrete, so those
those
driveways
will have
have
to be cut up.
concrete, I'm sure you'd have to
It's
saw cut them.
only, yeah, it's only one, well, really, the one across Cherry Barn needs to be replaced, and then the one under the, Lewis's driveway needs to be replaced. I can tell you the one on Cherry Barn's not big enough. There's a ton of water that comes through there.
Will you please mute your
That's
phone?
Dr. Cooney?
Will you
He
please
said on
mute
the
your
main
phone?
street.
Dr. Coomey's on the other side of the road.
Okay.
So if when you come down Cherry Barn, that's his house on the right, right before you get to Red Fox. But it crosses, like that whole road, it floods my yard, his yard, the Lewis's yard, and it's completely underwater when you get a heavy rain.
What do we need to do? Cause they.
He said we need to change.
What's your suggestion there? Or is this something Scott needs to worry about?
Yeah, I mean,
Out there and break the concrete up. Well, he's saying the one on the main road needs to be changed, and then the other drive.
That's on the county.
That's on the county.
I mean, it's county, but I'm saying, I guess we can go out and do what he's talking about, shoot it and see if he's already shot it. But yeah, I'll write it down and we'll go look at it and see what it'll take to get it fixed.
Okay, the barrier on Liberty Road, way out Liberty Road, near, the other side of Sandy Creek. The barrier's right.
Barricade,
Okay,
that's one of them,
DWP
that's one
problem?
of them's been submitted for EWPs.
I mean, there's absolutely no shoulder. Is it washed out under the road?
It ain't under the road yet, but that's one of them. If they don't accept that one, we headed to fix it.
I was just wondering how we
Yeah.
stop it. 'Cause
I'm waiting on
it
mine.
runs off now.
I'm waiting on mine. I had got a call about, that's one reason I brought them up to the board if y'all did call,
Oh.
but that's one of them that was submitted.
There's a couple places on Liberty Road going out on the shoulders that if you get off the road, you're dropping a foot at least, just washouts and stuff. Can we get those repaired? And there's one spot, I drive a little faster than probably I should most of the time. But when my truck skips coming around the corner because it hits a little bump, it's gotta be bad for a 3,000-pound car because my truck weighs 12,000 pounds. Mine skipping, these cars gotta be hopping. And it's just past Jack Delaney's house, going out but coming back towards Nashville. You probably hit it every morning.
Where them concrete-
You probably drive a little different.
That's where them concrete roads and them joints and stuff are moving.
Can we
It's gonna have to
have
be,
something to grind those with, or we got?
I'm gonna have to rent a grinder. I tried to rent one last year, did nobody have one, or they had them, and they were all rented out. This was in November. I tried to rent one then, while we slow down a little bit to mill those joints is what needs to take.
There's a couple places on the road, you already know this, but it's just, I just know that those light cars,
It's
if
one by that
people
huge
driving
shop
really fast,
through there, yeah.
they could lose control.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and Robin, if you do rent a grinder, I know we don't have to say anything about Pine Ridge Road. You know, we got
A few joints
couple
there.
And Pine Ridge, but if there's any other questions,
Back when we was cleaning them covers all out through there and doing all that, that's when I was headed on my mind of renting there down Liberty Road, because I had a few calls, because that's what that concrete does, where those joints are.
and I know we've got the same problem for you on Kingston Road and the same problem with the shoulders on Kingston Road. It's just, it's kind of scary. I just know that some people just really aren't paying attention, and if they get off the road, they're gonna get hurt.
all right. Any
That's
more
all I
for
have.
Robin? Well, okay, if no more for Robin, Mr. DeLawder, we just brought up your property. You was just late. They took some pictures out here, and you have made a little progress, but it hasn't been much. So if not, the county's gonna, had a lawyer looking, we're gonna have to go on, help clean it up.
I got men working on it now. I mean, I ain't moved the actual vehicle.
Yes.
Because my truck has been broke down. I just put a brake in it, the transmission in it, and I put a starter on it, and I got it back going, but.
Well,
most part it's back going.
You know, we gotta have,
I can actually move the vehicles now, I got something to move them with.
well, I suggest you start moving them today and don't quit. Because, you know, we have worked and gave you, you know, plenty of opportunity, you know, as a board and try to work with you. We even accepted some of, you know, you try to absorb some of your costs, or letting you take some of the tires to the county, dump, that we observed the cost. So I think we have been pretty fair with you. So
I'm trying.
if we can't get it moved out, we're gonna have to end up helping clean some of it up.
Yes, sir. I just asked, give me a little bit more time, I'm working on it, I promise you. I'm trying to get it as best I can.
How long has this been?
Yeah, about 4 months. Three?
Three,
Yeah,
about 3 months.
Three, and right around three coming in the fourth one, yeah.
I'd expect to see a lot more improvement than what I'm seeing on those pictures.
All right, so
It
let's,
is, I mean, I've been trying to get it to where I can put wheels and stuff on the cars so I can move them.
The process is this, we've adjudicated it in minutes. Next step would be to just simply post notice that we're coming out there, you have 7 days, and we come out there and start cleaning it up. That's legally where we're at.
so we need you today, you know, we need you when weather permitting, you need to start moving. You know, we're gonna have to see some progress, no doubt about it, because we can't wait another 90 days, that'll be 6 months. Okay, Supervisor.
Mr. Attorney, could you explain to him where it won't be no misunderstanding if the county come out and have to do exactly what we need to do, what it's gonna cost him?
It's gonna cost two things. It's gonna cost whatever it is for us to clean up, and I don't know if you've done an estimate or not, I can't tell you. And then it's some sort of penalty. The penalty be the cost, it's twice the cost, or at least $1,500, but whichever one's more. So in the minimum, it'd be a $1,500 penalty, but at least be twice your cost. In this probably case, it probably costs more than what the penalty is. That would go on your tax roll, and you'd have to pay that.
I'm not trying to buck y'all or anything, I'm trying to.
And we would much rather prefer you to do it than us to do it, believe me.
We'd much rather you clean it up, but what you're saying, we gotta have a little progress, you know, a little more progress to clean it up. So you said you had the vehicle straight, and so, you know, and I think we've been fair, and I think you can say that, you know we've been fair when you came up here. We have been totally fair with you. So at this point, I don't think we're saying, you came today, you have your vehicle. So we should be seeing some progress. So you will have to understand that if you don't progress no more than what you have, you understand we're gonna have to get it cleaned up.
Okay. What's the main focus point that y'all looking at on it?
We looking at all of it. I mean, we know we looking, you got vehicles, you got, well, I don't have to show you the picture, cause
You know.
He had mentioned last time maybe he was gonna move everything back off county right
and put a fence.
in.
You know,
I mean, is that acceptable?
we accepted it last time. If you put it up and you put a board fence around it where it's covered, that was an option last time.
It's gotta be presentable and it's gotta be.
It gotta be presentable, a board fence that's gonna close your place in all the way around from your neighbors, and there definitely no cars in the street, obstruction of traffic, the right of way. So we did that. But, you know, at this point, Mr. DeLaw, you know, you have those options, but, you know, try to do what you can to work with you, because we don't want to do it. We would much rather see you move forward with it. And I just wanted to bring that up because we had already discussed it before you walked in. But with that being all, you have any other question?
No, sir.
Okay, you have any other question? All right, next departmental
Wait,
report.
real quick,
Okay.
are you aware of the county right of way and where that fence has to be?
20 foot in the center of the road.
He got it, he knows they painted it last time, I went out there and he laid it out, painted the line across
Okay,
our
just
track.
want to make sure. Don't want you to have to put it up twice.
I got my truck running yesterday, and, I'll be able to move stuff now.
We've only had to do this once or twice in
Yeah.
the 10 years I've been there. I
Yeah.
have to go out there and actually do it. So we do not want to go out there. We're hoping that you'll get it done. But at the same time, something's got to be done.
All right, next, Mr. Ford with IMS.
Just some updates on, the MTWI grant will be sitting meeting, tomorrow, unless there's any update to the audit. Let me know update to that document and we'll submit at MTWI.
The audits have been turned in and accepted by the state.
They have, we got the 2021,
Alright,
So
so,
we are up to snuff.
okay, so what I would need is, that document uploaded to the portal so I can send email to you, Ms. Lewis. and-
Copy me, I think Brandy did. You did the upload on the last one, Matt?
No, the county administrator did the last time.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just need to get that document updated and then we can submit the, application.
Okay, yeah. Copy us and we'll get that uploaded.
Or I can get a copy of it, however y'all want to do it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right.
That's MTWI. Striping on the project, we received notification to submit the final submittal, to state aid for, get that project advertised. We've already received authorization to advertise it pending state aid's approval, so we'll be submitting that, those specs and final plans tomorrow. Hopefully we get authorization to advertise, and then we'll do that.
So once advertised and, everything, what it takes, 2 weeks? Is
Yeah.
advertising 2 weeks?
You advertise 2 weeks, you have to wait 16 days to
30 days.
bid it, and then
Okay,
we should be sometime in February getting the project.
sometime in
actually-
February to start the project.
Yes, and then that project takes a couple of days to get done. It's
Okay.
just striping, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Burke Road, just received the final approved environmental document from MDKH. That'll be submitted to state aid, and then they'll submit it to the refuge and to, Army Corps of Engineers, to MDOT and everybody, so, that's the final document that we needed. Everything else is submitted to state aid, and I'll be submitting that document, I just got the email, so I'll be submitting to state aid, so the environmental should be, ready, good to go. So the only thing we'll be waiting on, of course, is just,
If you could shoot
All
that
right.
to me, the environmental, shoot it to me and I'll forward it on basically the same agency, but through the rights of way acquisition thing.
well, our compile is the same way I compile it in the city.
Thank you.
And the last one I have is Morgantown. I know we talked about Morgantown Road earlier. Just up there, I've been talking with, Randy Dickerson and as well as Lee Frederick. I've had some pretty lengthy conversations, because I've tried to explain to them that you guys as a board need to know the next step for that, phase 1 of the project. And so what they asked us to do was submit everything that we have, to them, and then they can look at it and review and see what we have, and then tell us what the next step is. So I've submitted the plans, I've submitted the specifications.
Will you please mute your phone?
I submitted the plans to them, the specifications. JKS had the environmental documents, they sent that over to me within a day. I submitted everything to MDOT, so they're currently reviewing that information to let us know what the next step is for phase 1 of the project. And like I said, I've expressed the urgency of this project, how important it is to get this project started, and they are working with us to get it done.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Supervisor.
Mr. Attorney, now we got 2 phases. One phase is gonna be with MDOT.
That's correct.
So what about the other phase?
That's with NDEQ. And we're waiting the grant documents for NDEQ. They were supposed to come mid-December, then they were supposed to come at the beginning of the first week of January. They're with the Horn Group. The Horn Group is the consultants that the state of Mississippi hired to help them do these grants with the American Recovery Act money. And so that's what we're waiting on that particular phase.
So this is the what?
January 16th?
So have anybody
17th.
contact them this week?
Not this week. Contacted them last week, contacted them
Could
this
you
week.
contact them every week?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'll tell you why, cause you and Mr. Gaines contact me, and I turn around and contact them. I'm staying on top of it, cause y'all are staying on top of it too. I'm not saying it because of that, but I'm just wanting people to know you're staying on it.
I just don't understand why this is so difficult for MDOT and DEQ.
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
yeah. No one can explain that to me either.
Well, I understand with the MDOT case when dealing with somebody that don't like somebody from here, but the DEQ situation, maybe this somebody that don't like somebody from here too. I don't understand that.
Their excuse is they got a bunch of grants that are all, they gotta send them all out at once. That's what their excuse is.
So we might be next year getting this, if they got them in.
That doesn't seem to be what they're, that's not the timeline they're giving me. The timeline they're giving me was last week, so.
Thank you.
All right,
Any questions?
anybody have any other questions for the engineer?
Just keep working, man.
All
I
right,
appreciate your time as always.
all right, thank you, departmental reports next. Yeah,
Thank you.
huh, you can't, Hayden, did you have something?
I do.
You can go ahead. Come on.
Thanks, Eric. Just a little comment a little bit, good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
Ricky, I've heard the EQ is short-staffed, like 60 engineers, so, for whatever it's worth. State Park, all asphalt's down, temporary stripe is down, so whatever's left is just minimal that's gonna be done under traffic, so it's open. ERP number 2, the final punch list items have been sent out, just waiting on the contractor to respond on when he's gonna come out. ERP number 3, the letter will go out to them this week, so we can have our final walkthrough on that one. And then Majorca Road is about 99% complete.
All right, anybody have any?
President Gaines, we was riding out, and I know on, we was looking at, I think some of the EWP projects, and some of it was failing. Are
Yeah,
you all going back to check on those things that, you know,
Right.
they're having some problems
Yes,
out
ma'am.
of right now?
So yes, I've already been out, Rob has asked me to go out and look at one of the big rains, so yes,
Okay.
we're staying on top of that.
Any other question?
President Gaines, Robbins Lake.
But ask Scott, y'all keep asking about Robbins Lake, but it's in my insurance attorney's hands, and they pretty much told me to stay out of it, let the lawyers handle it.
They said I talked to their attorney and they said they were trying to reach you.
Now, he talked to me about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Reach out to him then.
Yeah, I think the last meeting you said you were gonna call him, so I can call him and ask him.
Right, I'll go and ask.
All right.
Where we're at right now, this last big rain we had a couple weeks ago blew the siphons out.
So I think Robbie told me that, but
What-
it did say
what
the
we're
pipes
trying-
were all the water.
The pipes what?
The pipes that were installed held everything, it didn't.
Correct,
It
but-
didn't overtime.
What we're doing is when we're getting debris, it's blowing these siphon pipes out. You know, we're trying to build some type of cage around there to protect all that debris from clogging the pipes.
Right.
There's no point in us going in there and building all that
I agree.
if there's gonna have to be something done. So that's all we're trying to figure
I
out.
agree.
Thank you.
All right, and we appreciate getting State Park Road, I know I do, and the Robbie do, and the engineers, and the contractors, so we appreciate it. All right, and, if that being all, you have any questions for us?
I don't know if this is the time, but I do have some invoices I'd like to. Pardon?
We have there's 3 for, Majorca, and then 1 for State Park,
2 for State Park.
2 for State Park. Okay.
The one for, the one for State Park, the estimate number 3, that deposit was made into the county on July the 22nd. And we still haven't been paid for that yet. The other one for State Park was just submitted in.
Here's what I found.
Late
July
December,
when?
so I know you probably haven't reimbursed for that.
And it has not been paid?
Not to us, no ma'am.
Let me see it.
And then I've also got invoices from, 2 invoices from the 13 site EWP. One was dated September 30th, the other one was dated October 5th. I know Randy's got a copy of all these. And then I have 1, 2, 3 invoices for Majorca Road
Excuse me. Mr.
Yes, sir, Supervisor.
So somebody came before we just board
Ain't got approved.
and got it approved and got it on the docket and you don't have the money, that's what you saying?
Well, I don't know if it's been on the, it should be on the docket because I know the county's received these invoices
From who?
from us.
Who presented them?
Well, I'm assuming, that's
Hey,
what I don't, that's
no.
what I don't know if they've been presented, but I know they were mailed to the county.
Well, see, this is what I'm trying to make sure there's no misunderstanding because we can't assume nothing.
Well, I know, I know the county's
Hold on,
got it.
hey, hold up.
Okay.
The only thing I'm saying is this. When somebody come before the board, the people out there gonna say the county ain't paying their bills. So, but if we don't get the proper information and it go on the docket like it's supposed to do, we can't pay the bill. That's all I'm saying. I ain't
Okay.
trying to argue or nothing like that, but it's the way we do this. And I know y'all done had some transition.
We
A
have.
guy left, I don't know did he put it on the docket or not. So if it ain't on the docket, we'll take care of it.
Well, I'm requesting that all of them be put on the docket, please.
Okay.
If they're
I don't know
not.
if it's been put on the docket or not,
Could
but
you
it does have a date on here of July.
They have not been docketed yet.
So that means it ain't been brought to us, right?
I'm not sure, but we did check and they had not been docketed. I checked with accounts payable, they've not been paid, so.
What is this note?
We have them, so they just never were presented to us.
Well, so what
Not,
we'll do,
not necessarily by him, but
Scott,
the bookkeeping there.
so am I just dreaming or am I saying this right? About the way you put stuff on the docket and get paid?
You're correct. For our engineering costs and for our construction costs, what we have done is the engineer will come and submit a pay request to the board. The board then approves them. It goes to our docketing claim. And then once it goes on the docket, those docket claims are approved and the checks are released. That's the system goes.
So you can't just send it in, you just come before this board and the board approve it, then it go on the
Then it
docket,
goes to the
then it get paid.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And they did that because there was
The
a
state aid, the contract was reimbursed by the state.
that's
That doesn't go through y'all. Only our invoice for state aid goes through y'all. But yeah, all the EOB, stuff like that, we do present there.
okay.
And I know Brant doesn't work for me anymore, and
So,
We don't have a problem paying you, Hayden. I just want to make it clear where
Yeah.
don't nobody think we not paying you.
it wasn't.
no, I've never, okay.
All right,
I don't want that to be misconstrued at all.
Okay.
okay. All right,
So if they haven't been submitted, I would like to submit them now.
okay. So,
And is that fair enough that Brandy's already got them by email? If not, I've got a hard copy.
I've got them
he
printed.
got
Yeah.
them printed.
As long as the board approves them today, I'll get them done.
So we have, I think everybody just looked at them, the, pay request from JKS. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
My only discussion is, Brandy, where did you find those at?
I was talking to Jordan Kaiser and just asked him if there was anything outstanding and they emailed them to me.
I thought they'd been signed off on by somebody else, but that,
Yeah, I'm not sure
They've
how
been
the
sitting around a while.
originals popped up, but but I got them, I got the email copies though.
Yeah, but it has not been presented to the board yet.
They were not documented
Presented.
right.
Okay, all right, any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Thank y'all.
Anything else? Thank you, Mr. Kaiser.
Y'all have a good day.
All right,
Thank you.
next departmental report.
It'll be docketed, next meeting, it'll be released, okay?
So after the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Sheriff. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just congratulations on the recent I thought you were talking to me, I was trying to figure out what you were saying. Recent elections and looking forward to working with the board this year. Warren came by and we had a long visit about goals and directions for this coming year, but one of them was, to discuss really the levy, and, I think Hayden just left, but, so, the major item is trying to figure out, congratulations to the board, all the money is in place to complete the last phase of the levy, which will bring that total of money that the Board of Supervisors has secured for that, really at about $5.8 million. And that is I can tell you, that is a monumental amount of money and investment that the board's been able to secure through state, federal funds, and really with no match requirements. So it's all been grant dollars that have come in, but all of those dollars are in place. And the last leg, the last phase is roughly $2.9 million and some change in there. So I'm just going to call it 2.9. But it also includes the I guess repairs of the railroad leading into the former International Paper project, and then also the completion of the levee and the infrastructure and everything that goes with that. And we really need to get started on it as quickly as possible. And so we've got the kind of the issue of moving engineers that are in there, but it can't be. Basically, we don't want to get bogged down in some of that. So I'm hoping if we can look to resolve that. And I know I've had some talks with Scott, and I believe the end result is to get all of the information that the board has paid for and secured to date, meaning drawings, CAD files, everything, so we can properly bid out this last phase for this next, to complete it. Quite frankly, those funds are sitting there, and we need to begin to use them. It is over $1.9 million from NBA that they gave us, and then y'all got the $1,070,000 from the legislature that's sitting in the account, and it doesn't need to sit there, or eventually they're gonna come and say, hey, you're not spending that money that we granted, and pull it back. And so we need to do that. I know most of this is in some of it's in Scott's court, but if there's any way to move that forward, then we would, collectively, I know y'all wanted to. So trying to get that done. The second piece, and just to be clear on those dollars, so the 1.9 million, it's like 1.937,000 or something. But it has to flow the way that the state grant program is set up. It flows to Natchez Inc. Meaning, so, and then y'all got the $1,070,000 that has to go to the Board of Supervisors. And so we've got to figure out, when we get it bidded out, a pay arrangement on that. We don't care. Matter of fact, y'all are obviously bigger than us, and so, but how MDA will handle the billing of that is, let's just say you got a contractor that's billed us $100,000. Their portion of the $2.9 million project is like 67%. So $100,000 contract, $100,000 bill from the contractor that we submit in to NDA, they're gonna send us back 67,000, which is their percentage of it, and then y'all will have to couple that remaining balance in order to pay the contractor its full amount. And so we don't care whether y'all manage it or we manage it, or how it's managed, whatever's easiest for y'all and for us is best case scenario. So I'm just kind of giving you some food for thought there. And that's really the same way with this, with the IP cleanup funds where we've got that $250,000, and we've got that RFP ready to roll and take I guess bids in on that. We haven't dropped it yet, but we would like to go ahead and do that as quickly as possible. And that's the 250 that the state has given us, and I believe, I talked about some ARP money to match that 250 for 500,000 combined money. So so we're looking for a little direction from y'all on how best to proceed on that and some of that. So I'm gonna kind of be quiet. I know we've got some project updates and looks like y'all are full today, so we'll probably maybe next meeting try to go look into executive session. So we'll do that another time. But those two items, I guess for lack of a better explanation, is because there is a time limit on the grant dollars, we've got to figure out how to move it into a bid and
Please mute your phone.
how to move it to a bid and get to start basically those projects where they will come and reclaim those dollars. So just
I've copied you in the email that I've asked for the plans to make in confirmation that nothing was outstanding on it. If you can help keep that moving so we can get the plans over to the newer engineer and get going on it. Thanks.
So, but yeah, I mean, I guess at what point though, Scott? I mean, because I know we've asked for those in the past, right? And I guess my point is we've asked for those for.
We can't build without plans.
I know. I'm saying we've asked for them though for 60 days. If we don't get them, at what point how do we resolve that?
We'll get together with the board and we'll make sure we get our plans. Not getting them is not the option, so we'll get them.
Well, Chandler, I appreciate it, and I did. Me and Chandler had a talk. I wanted to kind of go as I've been taking over as president to see economically which way that this county is going. So we had a good talk, and the cleanup of the paper mill property. I know we all been to the conferences where he said that we have better opportunity when you have shovel-ready sites, and some of those things that we're trying to get a few shovel-ready sites and a few more things we have going that I think he said he'll come back and address the board in executive session about the progress of Adams County. I think that that'll be great for the board. But Chandler, I appreciate it. We look forward to working with you and moving forward with these projects.
The upgrade on the railroad track, did they ever do that? I know we went in, the county done that part, and we cleaned it and got it ready for them. I was just wondering if they got that part done.
There's according to Natchez Railway and everything, and part of the 2.9 part of the levy money, and there's $70,000 in there to fix the improvements that were necessary for our engine to be able to run over the IP track. And so, no, to answer your question, hadn't been fixed yet. As soon as, you know, and what we had discussed is that be the first item that the contractor gets on. It's probably your least intrusive and probably the quickest to get done and least expensive, but kind of be a good test run for everybody also, getting everything gets paid. So that is the first item out of the gate on the, hopefully on the deal right, but it hadn't been finished yet. But county, y'all did, look, the cleanup around the wastewater treatment facility too was much appreciated. It showed a lot better last time I was out there with the client because y'all taking care of that. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, thank you.
Right.
All right, next, departmental report.
Good morning, board. I want to start off by saying I appreciate those of you who I seen out at the MLK parade yesterday. I understand people, some had other things to do. But I want to say that, you know, I was really happy the way it turned out from the organizers of the parade to all the first responders and everybody who participated. Because yesterday, there were no incidents that I'm aware of with the parade. You know, and that's one of the things that Dr. King talked about was peace. You know, so anyway, just want to put that out there. Second thing I want to remind you all of is that we have an expungement clinic coming up that's totally free to the public. It's going to be the 21st from 10 to 2 at the safe room. And the reason why I'm reminding you all and the people, the public of that is because we really need them to stop by the sheriff's office and get that background check done because we're starting some of the process before we get there so we can streamline it once it's there. And if they come by and get the background checks done now, we can tell them whatever crime they've been accused of or that's on their record, whether it's something that can be expunged or not. So we really need the public to know that and take advantage of this because on your own, this can cost you anywhere from $700 on up for what we're doing for free. And I know Terrence Hunter and some others, I don't have a flyer in front of me, have partnered with us on this, but if they go to the sheriff's office website and look at the page, they'll see all the information on there. They can contact the sheriff's office, 601-442-2752, and ask for Jack Posey if they have any questions. Now, a lot of people have been taking advantage of it and come by, but we want as many people as possible to come by. And if you're out of Adams County, you need to bring your court docs with you, so I want to put that out there. The last two things I have is one of your Williams, I think you have it up there, President Gaines, that you have in your hand.
Yes, sir, I seen it.
We're moving her from part-time to full-time into one of those full-time slots in the jail. One of the slots we already had open. So I'm asking the board to approve the pay change in there to $13.23 an hour.
You heard the request of the sheriff. I do have the paperwork that's been signed by Human Resource to move one in William pay rate $13.23 an hour. Can I get a motion?
So,
Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Are there any discussion?
You said it's a new hire?
No, it's not.
What is it?
A move from part-time to full-time pay rate change.
Filling a vacancy.
Any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
Randy and Scott, I'll make sure y'all get a copy of this. MDOT sent a new letter out saying that they're increasing the mileage for transport of inmates from .625 to .6255. And that's effective January the 1st. So the last thing I have is I emailed, I think, all of you about the pay changes for the trash crews. And so I have that in front of me now. Anything on that, Scott?
Yeah, we need you to fill out the fund increase request. It addresses whether there's additional revenues to make up for it.
Okay.
That's just so we can pull it and make sure there's no net gain. The thing about that one, it probably is not, but the thing about it is it's capped at $50,000, so we should make sure it's not any out of pocket. It's a permit. Or if it is, then it's up to the
We're not
board.
even close to that. So you, I need to present it or no?
If you can get the form filled out, we can do it next meeting.
Okay, no problem. I'm here to hear.
Is any of these yours then?
Well, that's what you have in your hand, what he's saying.
Oh, these are little officers.
No, these are my trash group guys that,
You're gonna get an
I sent
increase.
over the pay increase.
Yeah, I got you. Is it, James already and Henry Williams? Okay, well, we'll hold it till next meeting till we get this straight. All right, any other thing? All right, now we down to, public comment.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Terry McGood, and I came to request the reinstatement of Angie King as county administrator. And at this point, I'm not sure, what do I need to address first, how do we tackle it, or if this is open discussion. Relative to who I know she is and what she does, I feel like at this point, and I have concerns about the county, because I'm a county resident, so I felt the need to come and just ask for her reinstatement.
Up to the board member to make a motion to do that kind of thing.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Supervisor Graham.
well, the way this goes is you got 5 supervisors and it take 3 votes. Without 3 votes, there's no way she can be reinstated.
Okay, so can there be a call for a vote?
Not-
Is that what you're saying? I still don't understand.
If a board member would have to move and another board member would have to second, and then there'd be a vote after that. But it comes, those type of decisions have to originate from the board of supervisors.
Can I?
Yes, Supervisor Hutchins. The discussion, yeah.
Let me say this. This job is an employment job, and when she got appointed for this job, there was a chance that she could also lose this job. It's year by year appointment. And when someone does not do their job, or so much is brought forward, then this board has a right to reappoint or not appoint.
Okay, so I was just understanding you saying that it's appointed, so just coming forward just to ask for a request, and I'm hearing you. And I understand that Mississippi is an at will, but I also know too, I guess by working, that there's such things as handbooks. You know, I'm not sure, I don't know, but I felt the need to come. And I mean, I'm listening, so I just wanna know what the next step would be. Supervisor Gray just alluded to it, and I'm very intelligent, and I understand that part of it, and I definitely have heard.
Actually, Supervisor Gray now too, I know how to fix it.
Well, here go how certain positions work. She's not a regular employee. The county administrator, the road manager, and the attorney, each year have to be reappointed. Each year. And if they don't get 3 votes, they're not reappointed. It's just, if I'm saying something wrong, you help me out. You got to get 3 votes. Now, a regular employee that get terminated got a handbook, and they go to human resource and they can appeal it all the way up to us. Now, Mr. Attorney, do you or Robbie or the county administrator have that authority?
No, those are decisions directly of the board, which are only appealable through the statute. There's an appeal statute of any decision of the board of supervisors, which technically an employee could appeal that ultimate decision of the board of supervisors as well. But for certain positions that are hired and fired by the board, they immediately go to the board. If the board makes a decision on it that's adverse, then the person to appeal, and the way you do that is file a notice of appeal with the circuit clerk's office, and it go up to the court. Not, does not do the same thing as the handbook.
Okay.
For your purposes.
Does that clarify what you need?
Okay,
Can't
so,
work 3 jobs.
But, hold on, we gon'
yeah, I'm clear to what he said, especially, I mean, my understanding, I mean, if I had to summarize it of what the both of them just said, from year to year, you bring it back. And even if it's you, or if it was I in here, you bring it back and they just put it to a vote. That's from year to year. Yeah, I wasn't clear about that. But, you know, I guess for my own understanding, and I wasn't here and I don't know details of whatever, the termination factors, or if you brought it before and you had to decide, the decision mostly, she just said, according to Supervisor Hutchinson, if a person does not perform the job, you bring it back and you decide not to vote. I got that. And I'm just clearly asking this in my own way because, you know, I guess I'm a person of stature and I believe too that if you're doing something, any kind of personal feelings or anything should definitely not be on the table. It would have to be job related. And I guess my only concern is, and I know that you cannot discuss backgrounds of people who work, but, you know, were there possibly, in just my thought, I mean, were there refer write-ups, were there this, were there that? It's just a lot of things, and there are a lot of people asking questions that may want to come and didn't come, that may just want answers and just seeking answers, and most times I truly believe that how you get an answer you're looking for, you go.
I agree. I mean, we had a 3-2 vote, and Supervisor Wilson wanted to speak. So,
Okay, I think each supervisor that voted against the reappointment had a different reason. Probably, we really don't discuss that kind of thing. But when Angie was sitting in this seat right here 3 years ago, wanting that job. She told her story, and I know she raised a lot of children, fostered a lot of children, and she came from nothing to get to the job she had. That was a really good job. And I told her no matter how this board voted that day, that in my eyes, she was an American success story because of all the things she had accomplished in her lifetime. I was moved by how much she had done, how many children she had taken care of and raised. It was an amazing story, and I still think she's a really good person. I think the job itself is very hard. There's so many emails and so many people calling, and if you can't handle the pressure, I think it gets to people after a while, and you get a little overwhelmed and you start getting behind. And I believe that's what happened here. I'm not sure, but I got a lot of phone calls that things weren't getting done. And I love Angie. I mean, I think she's great, but she represents us, and we didn't like, or I didn't like the way things were going, because I was getting way too many calls and complaints. And I talked to her several times and asked her some stuff, but there were a lot of things going wrong, and it involved a lot of money that the county was losing. I don't even know if we should bring up Scott about something we've about lost or did lose actually.
If you want to discuss, you can do a closed determination.
No, we can't discuss it.
Okay, so I want you to know that on my part, it was not personal. It's about this board of supervisors that we're sworn to take care of this county, and I didn't see it getting taken care of in the way that I wanted to see it taken care of. It is nothing personal with Angie. All right.
all right, Supervisor.
Okay. And that's why I made my statement in the Democrat that based on previous executive sessions that we could not discuss with the public or the media. That's how I based my vote on. It was just things we could not discuss. See, a lot of people, you know, once someone is fired, they don't have the information, okay? And they want to come to their own conclusions. but certain things we cannot discuss with the public, that allows me to come to that conclusion. But we have to be mindful when we go out there and make statements about people and don't have all the details. I mean, when I did the same thing to Jordan Cousins' section. The same exact thing. It was not based on color, it was not based on anything or personal anything. When a person does not perform, something has to be done when the county is coming down. Because that's what you all elected us to do. Protect you all taxpayers' money. So that was my reasons.
Well,
Mr. President?
Miss,
Go ahead, go ahead.
no. Go ahead, Supervisor.
I'm not gonna sit here,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody speaks for themselves. I'm not gonna sit here and I speak for Ricky Gray. And Ricky Gray still don't know why she was fired. Now, whatever happened in executive session, I don't know what happened. Now, I'm speaking for me. I don't know what happened in executive session for the cause of to get fired. I do not know what happened. I'm not gonna take something and say that something happened, because I don't know. And when it came up for a vote, I didn't even know it was coming up. So it wasn't discussed with Ricky Gray. I'm through with that.
I go back to saying this for the executive session. Supervisor Gray, all of us was given information in many executive sessions. You said yourself.
Don't speak for me, speak for you.
Well, I'm not gonna speak for you.
Don't speak for me.
But my thing is,
But I speak through my vote.
you can sit here and say that you don't know.
I don't.
That's what you wanna say.
No,
Our
I
mouth
don't.
can say anything, but we would've made this, we would've come to this decision if
Well,
things was not discussed.
Y'all came to it, not me.
Well, listen, all right, as president, this is what we're gonna say, you know, we seen it, and you seen the vote, and I sitting at this table right now, I don't know if I don't think we need to get into big public discussion. Everybody voted. I supported Andy, I seen it through a different eye. Supervisor Gray supported Andy, seeing it through a different eye. Each supervisor had the power with their vote, and seemingly sitting at the table right now, I don't think anything has changed right now. But if Ms. King wants to speak, I'm gonna allow her a chance to speak, and then, you know, because I don't want things to get too personal and ugly over with the media and stuff like that over the board, and, you know, so I'm gonna give you a chance.
And I appreciate that, but when it comes to me defending my name, I need to defend my name, because I just listened to Supervisor Hutchins say that I was not successful with my job. When I started working for this county, first of all, Andy King is the only one who knows about the cash and the finances of the Adams County Board of Supervisors, starting from the payroll, accounts receivable, accounts payable. I've heard all kinds of untruth about the cash balances, the whole 9 yards. Okay, let me explain the cash balances. They're off because ever since I left, there has not been any money posted to the accounts, which right now, the accounting department, the finance of the accounting is in danger, because anybody can steal the money right now, but nobody knows what is going on when the board decided as of January 4th to remove me. They had nobody in place that knew anything. I had one employee, you know, it's not executive session, because when somebody sends something to the executive session, when Supervisor Hutchins allows someone to send emails out to the whole board before a meeting, and opinions have already been formed, no one should have been in the executive session in the first place, because everybody should have been recused. There is no such thing as that executive session, because the executive session was ordered at that point. Okay, now, I decided that an employee was stealing time. I decided to terminate that employee because they were stealing taxpayers' money. Okay, Supervisor Hutchins asked that same employee to write a bad letter about me. Okay, no, I can talk on it because it's not executive session. It no longer became executive session. It
I'm
no
gonna
longer
stop
became,
you again.
it no longer became executive
I'm gonna
session.
stop you again.
Okay, no, you're not gonna stop me.
You comes with
You're not going
lies.
to stop me.
Never
Listen.
talked
She
to
asked
you.
the employee to write a bad letter on me.
Hold on.
There was
Hold on.
no truth.
Hold on.
We're gonna tell the truth here.
We not
Because
gonna-
my name first, I'm
Listen,
not,
hold on.
I don't want my name put out with a lie.
Hold on.
I'm gonna call them.
Okay, so you can call, because it's a whole lot.
Wait.
Listen, well, we need to
We're
break,
gonna tell the truth because she
Listen.
set me up.
And
I ain't, this ain't no set.
well, hold on. Well, we need
This ain't got nothing to
to,
do.
we need to go, I understand, but I this don't need to get personal, get blowed out of hand. It don't need to be that, and you know, I had a lot of uncertainty with the county because, and what you have done, what I'm seeing, we just seeing things through a different eye.
Right.
I seen things that, I seen your struggle, I seen your long hours, I seen the things that you put in, I did see you put in a lot of time. But what happens is, and at the power of this board, and you know, cause I don't know the uncertainty of the county, I definitely wouldn't want the county to go down with my name signature there. But following the system, you know, you had a 3-2 vote on it, and they voted to remove it, remove you from office, and I can tell from the conversation right here that we having that you won't have enough votes to be reinstated.
I understand that. Okay, listen to me. I understand that I may not have the votes to be replaced.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
I'm going to tell the truth about what is exactly going on. I'm tired of the corruption and the manipulation. I'm gonna go back to continue to where I started from. She had that employee that was stealing to write a bad letter on me. First of all, when I read the letter, I saw nothing in the letter that was specific as to what I did. The only thing it said was I was this bad person. She didn't like me and I used my power to hurt, but never no facts. Never. That's what she does all the time.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
What we gonna have to do?
You are one of, you're a narcissistic girl.
We gonna have
You
to
gotta go get some
figure
help,
out,
narcissist.
listen.
I don't like corruption.
we
I've been
could
lying for a minute now.
And if you want,
Listen.
I guess you sit down where I expose
All right,
you.
Okay, go ahead.
where we at? Do I need to, hold on.
This is why you got
Hey,
fired.
listen,
Nothing you
do
can
we
say
need to,
that I have done because I have not done anything.
Oh, really?
We can talk
Really?
about, we can talk about late reports, we can talk about all of that.
listen,
We can talk about,
we need to figure out some other time, we do not, we do not
That's
need
been
to
her problem.
add this, I know it's some things and it's hurting, and I don't want your name scarred, nobody want their name scarred and that, but I'm gonna tell you, this is not the proper way for the, take care of all of it. I don't know what's been said, I hadn't, you know, I don't know, cause I know everybody be a little more involved. I hadn't seen it, but we don't need to add this out to get this much tension up here in a public meeting.
okay, let me say something else, can I?
Can we,
I took over the position of controller. I took over the position as the county administrator, and I was doing both jobs, and during that time, I had 4 other employees that was out. One of them was dealing with her mom that was sick. She was out for 30 days.
yes ma'am, we're
The
aware.
other one had COVID. She was out for 30 days. The other one, the other employees, HR, she left. We had one other employee that was in IC with her child for 30 days. For those 30 days, I worked all 4 of those departments and I didn't miss a beat, not one beat. I didn't complain. I came in here, I would go to work come here at 12 o'clock at night. And I stayed up until I had done the whole day before anybody came to work. And I still stayed at work all day that day. I work Saturdays, I work Sundays, any time of the day, y'all got emails from me at the time. So that's what hurt more than anything, that I gave everything that I could to this county. And that's what happened to me for no reason. No reason. Can't nobody even give me a reason as to why I was terminated, other than the fact that somebody said she got a bad attitude. Yeah, that's what employees gonna say about somebody. They got a bad attitude because they don't wanna do what's right. The only ones that complain, okay, we got 250 employees. Of those 250 employees, probably 9 or 10 had a complaint on me, which means my complaint rate was less than 1%. But because of the employees, the ones that had the complaint, is the ones that was the problem. I was not supposed to say anything to particular certain employees. A 1% complaint rate? That's off the chain as far as I'm concerned. The type of work that I did, the volume of work, and the time that I spent in this place, it was an insult to me. Because somebody trying to find one mistake. One mistake? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you feel what I'm saying? It hurt because I can't imagine. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about this county, the accounts, the money. And King is the only one that know how that money moves. So the county tax dollars and money right now is at a bad fix because somebody decided they was gonna get mad at me or didn't like me and decided they was gonna vote against me. Supervisor Hutchins has had a problem for me for quite a while.
Angie, I told you.
I'm just telling it like it is. That's where it came from.
My name out your mouth.
I'm not gonna keep my name out your mouth.
You
we have to do this. So what we gonna have to do is before this goes,
right here
listen.
proves it.
All right, listen.
This right
This
here
is-
proves every grievance. No.
Okay, grievance don't matter because
it goes on and on.
Hey, we gotta get some law here, cause I do.
You
Hey.
were toxic to this
We
county.
can't do that. We not gonna. Sheriff, we need to break. Hold on, stop right here. We can't. Hold it, listen. We have everything, and I understand that, but we have,
I wouldn't have walked in here, but when I heard the lies,
and I
I'm gonna correct
understand.
my name because
Girl,
she tells
that's all
those
you
lies
do.
for things to get in the paper.
I understand,
That's all
but
you
we-
do, and you don't want me to give the paper.
You don't want me to talk before I call
No.
stay audit on you.
No.
Do it.
Well, listen, we gonna
Say
have
all you got on me.
to, and, but this is what I say, and I hate that this had to turn out like this, and we all have different opinions. I know it's personal.
It's not personal.
I said, I'm not, hold on, Supervisor Hutchins. Hold on 1 second. Listen to what I'm saying. And I appreciate if you let me speak and don't cut me off with it. I'm not dealing with person between you and her. I'm understanding she took it personal where she took her job. I'm not saying it's personal against in us, you know what I'm saying? We trying to move forward. But I understand that you put all in is there, but I do understand the system, and much as we had to abide by the system of 3-2 vote, and you know, I don't want this to go any further and smear it anymore. So if we could, I'm gonna let you make that statement and we're gonna move forward.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say thank you. I came with the understanding as a citizen that I could come and ask for a request.
Yes.
You kind of told me, and I could see it, because I can add very well. I'm an accountant myself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I knew even if you called back for a vote, it was gonna be the same way, because I heard Supervisor Wilson speak from the beginning. That's not that. And I so hate that what just happened, but what it tells me is it's so amazing that I could speak this morning about silence. Sometimes we gotta know when to be quiet, and sometimes we gotta know when to speak. And I understand when she came in here because her idea is to keep her character where it is. Who wouldn't do that? So you all may be looking at her as a mean person because she's defending herself, but under human rights for decency, anybody would have done that. So the only thing I'm gonna say when I leave here is that as supervisors, you all need to know when to be quiet as well. What I mean is if you're the board person, the leader should lead by example. Not that Supervisor Hudson, she was gonna say anything back to you, you wasn't gonna defend yourself, you by no means. But what I am saying, to keep going back and forth, somebody gotta know when to be quiet. You should put yourself in her shoe.
Well,
She would not, no,
Yeah.
see, I'm still talking, you still doing it.
Okay.
You still doing right what I just said.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, she's a person without the job. Why would she not feel like that? Why would she not? If you were in her shoes, you would feel the same way. I got it. Even if it was just cause. I tell people this all the time. It's perspective from where you see things. You got it. You said you have your evidence of what your vote is. That's your conviction. I'm not going to try to convince you. I'm still going to respect you for that. Because we're in a world where we have to respect people, whether we want to or not. People vote. That's the democratic process. If we undo something that's constitutional, who are we and how do we move forward? But what I am going to say this day, that I stand firm to say every walk of my life, that's church, that's work, that's sorority, and that's in the public. We need to be fair with everything we do. Supervisor Grace said that from the beginning of time. If we don't start doing what is right, knowing that right is the right thing to do, separate the things that need to be separated, stop doing this and stop doing it, and be fair about it, we never gonna be a better world. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say one thing to you. You heard what I said about Angie,
I did.
what I liked about her.
I did.
And also when she was in that chair, we had offered her a raise to stay where she was before, and I said, Angie, please think about staying where you're at, because that job is a pressure cooker. And I told her what could happen if one person changed their mind. And I basically begged her not to do it, you know, because I knew how hard that job was. I saw the last man kind of burn out on it. So I was worried for her because of everything I told you a few minutes ago about her raising all those children, and she had a good job with retirement, and this job has no security whatsoever because 4 or 5 people in this county serve at our pleasure. And if something goes wrong or too many things go wrong, somebody's gonna change their vote, and that person does not have a job. It's not like you can go sideways and move into another position, and I hate it for Angie because I told you I like Angie.
Absolutely.
But I just wanted you to know that, because I know y'all are here because you care about her.
Absolutely.
And I've seen some of the things she's done with these children she's raised, and I just wanted you to know that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me say one more thing, Ms. Terry, let me tell you this. She did, and don't get me wrong, that was the hardest decision I had to make. Because I don't like to see anybody lose a job. I don't believe in that, of seeing anybody lose a job. That was the hardest decision. But you see what happened just then? This is what has been happening, okay? And I'm not gonna get into a lot of stuff, but this is what's been happening. And this is one of the ladies right here that she said I called and asked her to do. No.
Wait,
We're
we not going.
I can say, let me
finish, because everybody said.
No. Let me do this. I don't really want to get into that.
I'm not gonna get into it.
No, listen. I don't want to get into that. I literally came, and my point for coming is done. I've already heard there will not be a reinstatement, so I really can move on. Thank you all so much.
All right, we appreciate it. Go ahead, you public comment.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I didn't know she said she was going. I ain't cutting you off, no.
But you should have let me finish.
I did, she walked out.
I mean, that's fine.
No, I was talking with her there. You still, you said that, excuse me, because I apologize if you've been on disrespectful. Now you got a floor, Supervisor.
I just want to ask one question. She had the right to clear her name. She says she had the right, but I don't like lying on me either. That's what she's been doing a lot of time, is lying on me. This is the lady that worked in bookkeeping. This is the lady she say was still in time. This lady wrote a grievance asking for, she terminated her. She asked that she be reinstated, but she said, I called this woman and asked her to write this grievance. Miss Tabitha, have you ever heard from me? I've seen Miss Tabitha maybe twice since she been working here. Don't even know, didn't know her last name until she wrote a grievance. Have I ever made a call to you?
No, ma'am.
Ever?
No, ma'am.
Asking you to do a grievance or anything?
No, ma'am.
That's all I need to know.
All right, well, I'll come back and Supervisor Hudson, I will publicly apologize if you thought I was looking over you, because there was not my intent to cut you off. I was intending to run this meeting fair and correct to every board member, give my same respect as well as people who ask. So I want to make sure, so I'm gonna publicly apologize if you thought I was skipping you and not let you clear your name. All right?
I just got a question right here about the process.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let me just ask those from the
Yes, ma'am.
board.
You need to state
Name,
My name is Yvonne Isaac Noble, and I have one question I'm just concerned about. So this employee that, I'm assuming is the one Angie was talking about that she wrote up, that you're talking about?
Yes.
So, couple questions. So did this employee send this in after, she got wrote? Let me ask you this, why is this employee still employed if she was wrote up for stealing money? I'm just curious, how is it that you can write somebody for, I guess, embellishment, whatever you call, but they just get moved around and get counted to another position? How is that
Do you want me to answer that question?
Yeah.
Okay. She wrote this lady up, saying she was still in time.
Right.
Okay?
Mhm.
And fired her.
Okay.
But she signed her time sheet for 6 months. You can't still sign time and she's signing her time sheet for 6 months.
Okay, so she found out about it after she signed it? That the
Yes,
money
that's
had
what she
been
said.
stolen?
The money is not,
actually was not.
it's time.
Let me clear this
Well,
up.
you still in time, you're still in money.
But let me clear this up. It was not actually, what you said anybody stole.
She was falsifying time.
No, it was not falsifying time. What it was is pre-approved overtime. What it was not falsifying time. We have a policy when it comes down to the end of the year, you're supposed to get pre-approval for overtime.
Right.
So basically, when we had it, she was coming in and saying, and the question came up that she was still in time because she was not, didn't get pre-approval. But what she's trying to say is the overtime came on and it was signed off on, if I'm correct. You came in, instead of coming in at 8, sometimes you came in at 7, sometimes during different times. So that was the question. Now I can answer that one because I know some of that. But
May I speak, please?
Well, hold on.
hold on.
We don't really discuss these internal personnel type of things.
Yeah.
The general rule is that
Well,
misinformation.
the only reason I asked is because she brought her in here, that's the only reason I asked.
Yeah. No.
That, we don't really talk about that. It's a lot of different things of why the board made the decision that they made.
Right.
That's just.
Well, I
That's why I
just asked her
bring
because
up
I know,
stuff in.
well, I know, only reason I asked her, Edge is gone, and
I
she brought it up too, but she, did you call her in here?
But we don't.
So she called her in, so I
I'm figuring
figured.
that, what I'm saying is, it's more than just can be explained in
Yeah.
1 or 2 lines, or even in here. It was a long executive session determination,
Yeah.
several pages, both back and forth, so it's just more to it than just what can be said.
Well, yeah, and that's why I say so. I just want to make sure I stay beside the
So-
guidelines. Don't
Right, so basically, whatever employee, whoever. So, because this was done, and she was moved, so there was a reason for moving her from that position with that money, just to put it in another position?
There was no money, that's what you don't understand. It
Time-
wasn't anyone taking money out, it was about
Yeah, but
doing your
time
time.
to me, I work for the Park Service, so I know if I had an employee who was falsifying time, he basically still the money's money involved in getting paid. So I'm just saying, falsifying your time. And so but at that point, regardless, something was done wrong somewhere, falsifying time.
All right, there is nothing about falsifying time.
Okay.
Okay? Nothing was about falsifying time. It's
Okay.
about requiring overtime without permission.
Right. So
It's
then the board,
different.
but then the board
By
still
law,
approved to terminate.
If you work overtime by law, you get paid overtime, whether you
Exactly.
have permission or not.
Right,
That was, but the policy is you get permission prior to doing it.
prior to.
And then, and again, I don't wanna get into all of the
Oh, I
grievances
so why
or
did the board,
whatever.
okay, so why did the board, so the board still ended up firing her?
Fired
But then
her.
Angie couldn't just fire her on her own, right?
We didn't fire her.
I was not fired.
We
Angie,
reinstated her.
Oh,
yeah, we don't need
wait a minute, y'all
We don't need to get in
yeah,
legally.
it's a-
See, that's what I was trying to tell you when we started. I don't wanna get into it, I don't wanna violate any personal rules as the president, and I'm not gonna
Okay,
violate.
no, but I'm just saying with the
So-
wording y'all using.
No, I'm gonna,
If you reinstated somebody,
I'm
so
gonna-
how you gonna
I'm
reinstate them if they never were terminated? And that's just playing on words, I mean, you saying that y'all
okay.
reinstated, huh?
The board has a policy about if you were mistreated at work,
Right,
there's an appeal process. The
Right.
ultimate appeal goes to the Board of Supervisors for regular employees.
Right.
For certain employees, they go instantly to the Board of Supervisors.
right.
She was not one of those particular employees that goes immediately to the Board of Supervisors.
Oh, okay.
So it went to the process, the board made a decision, and that's how she ended up in the new department.
Oh, okay.
After, I don't know, an hour-long discussion in executive session about it.
Okay. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Yes,
go,
ma'am.
go,
Your
go
name-
ahead, go ahead.
Your name and address?
Your name and address.
Jennifer Isaac, 43 Morgantown Road, Natchez, Mississippi, 39120. I've heard everything in regards to Ms. King and her being terminated, and I know it's not the desire of the board to reinstate her. My question is regarding the current status, the finances of the county funds. I know Ms. Lewis, I know the name, has been stated as the interim person. Is her background, does she have the experience to get the county over the termination until someone else comes? I also know that there are numerous employees who are new, and there are some positions that have not been filled. What do you have in place for those employees who are new and they don't really know their responsibilities or any roles, to get them trained or acclimated to their position? Because myself coming from a finance background, being a CFO, that's a lot of work. And it's a lot of stress on the employees who have no one to train them for their current position that they are in. Is there something in line in place for those employees?
It is, they rehired some, people who came back in that had worked in prior bookkeeping and, part-time that came back, they can come back 20 hours a week, so they have something. I know that part, and I can answer that part, but I can, the other part, I can't, between the lawyer and the chancery clerk, that they have been working together to keep books and policies in order until we hire somebody.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, and advertisements went out to find a replacement.
Yes.
They were due Friday, I believe.
Today.
I'm sorry, they're due
Yeah.
today at 5 o'clock, and it was on the president's agenda to get that, start looking at that immediately, so that there's not a big gap.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other more public comments? If there's no more public comments, I'm gonna call, Ms. Miller, go, if you would, go to the mic and, y'all had it first. I mean, you gotta take that person stuff and leave it later, but I'm not in that. Go ahead.
Good morning. I was called over here, and while I was sitting there, I heard the,
Who called you over here?
I did.
Ms. Johnson told me to come over.
I called her.
Tabitha Middleton.
Tabitha
I'm
Miller.
sorry.
And
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yeah, I called her over here.
Okay.
I did not speak to Supervisor Hutchinson. I was
Ms.
just giving
Johnson
a
called
message,
you,
I was in
okay.
court. Okay, I just wanted to say to go on record to say, anything I did was signed off on. It's a lot of backtracking and fishtailing and what have you going on. Now, I was awakened about 2 Saturday mornings back
because Ms. King had posted a picture of the two of us. I told the person, I got a call at 7 o'clock, I said, I'm not gonna address that because I don't do social media. All I want to do is to be left alone to do my job.
I don't mean to stop you, please.
Yes, sir.
But I want you, but if you need something that's pertaining to Adams County to do that, I would appreciate it if you got something, because a lot was said, and I don't wanna feel like, again, I don't want you to feel like Supervisor Hutchins feel like I was cutting off. But I want you, if you're gonna say it, please, ma'am, let's keep it about Adams County, and let's go and get to the point. I'm talking about Adams County. You said Facebook. Facebook, we don't do Facebook, and as of right now, Angie is not an employee of Adams County.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would rather you defend yourself if you're gonna do it, and we can move forward with our meeting.
Okay, well, let me just keep it nice and simple.
Yes, ma'am.
I have the paperwork showing that I was not taking anything. I have a letter from someone that stating that Angie gave me verbal permission to do this. And it's a lot of back and forth. I'm not gonna hold the time up, I'm not gonna entertain it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
But like I said, you know, people are sitting up here and it's all around this county, I'm sure in the city, that I've done this and that. I did not do it. I'm done with it.
All right.
I thank you all for your
And
time.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right. Any more public comments? All right. If not, can I get a motion for closing termination?
Come to the table.
Oh no, how much that they got me so mixed up. Yeah, it just got it mixed up. I hate them come to the table, Supervisor. Grant.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. We did go on this tour with our youth leadership group, and it's amazing. Some of the young people in the community don't actually know all the good stuff that we have in this community. To give you a perfect example, we went to Merit Health Hospital, and the lady gave us a healthcare career education requirement and a pay scale, and I'm gonna make a copy of it. Man, they got some jobs, pay a whole lot of money on here. And some of these jobs you don't have to have but 2 to 4 years of experience, and some of them just 2 years of experience. And 1 year experience paying you $44,000, that's a lot of money. But anyway, next on my list is, I saw Pastor Melvin White at a funeral, and he asked me to notify the board, to let the board know that on January the 19th, they're gonna have a special press conference at Natchez Junior College. And I don't know if Congressman Thompson's gonna be here or not, but they're gonna award them with a grant to do the rest of remodeling Natchez Junior College. I guess y'all say, why? He want the board, if possible, to attend that. That's on January the 19th at 10 o'clock. Natchez Junior College. Next, I asked y'all at the last meeting to give me something that you could live with the presentation that the NAACP came to us with the amount of poverty that we have in our community and the people that need help. And I know I throwed out $50,000 per district, but I know that probably not gonna fly with this board. So I'm gonna recommend is $10,000 to help a person. And it's just my recommendation. The NAACP said 50,000, but if you do 50,000, that's one person. I already have 2 people in my district need help. So I'm gonna ask before I even make the motion. Do anybody have a problem with $20,000 per district to give, not to give, in a grant form to allow Southwest Planning to do exactly what they doing with the SNAP grant to, help some of these people that really need help that don't qualify for the SNAP grant.
Thought you was gonna ask 25, is it 20 or 25?
Well, you can't do but 10 apiece.
Piece,
I mean,
okay.
10 per individual.
Yeah.
If we do 25, then that's 5,000 just left out there.
Yeah. Ricky, I'd like, if you do that, we could go ahead and set aside the money and then get with Southwest to make sure everything's legal and how we do it too.
So they do have parameters already set up for?
Yes, sir. SNAP grant. They're gonna go by the pretty much similar criteria that the SNAP grant have. They're gonna go by those criteria.
And we got the SNAP grant coming in too, so, good too.
So if nobody have a problem, then I make a motion that we do what the math is,
80.
No.
If you're doing 20 each, supervisors, it's 5 of us, 20 to 100,000.
I move that we set aside $100,000 out of the American Rescue Act to, a grant to, help some of the individuals in this community that really need help, and the NAACP don't get this money, they don't see this money. This money gonna go through Southwest Planning just like the SNAP grant.
All right, well, Supervisor Gray, let me cut you off right there.
Go ahead.
And, you heard the motion made by Supervisor, Gray to allow, 20,000 per supervisor to go to Southwest Planning to help,
With the grant.
with the, help assist with the grant, the other
I
grant,
second.
the needed people. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? Non-discussion. Now you can finish with what you was gonna say then. If no, if you finish, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. If any opposed, vote by using the sign of nay. Motion carried unanimous. All right.
The only thing else I have, Mr. President, is they have a legislative breakfast coming up on the 23rd of this month, and we need to get together and set some legislative priority as a board to our state representatives. And that needs to be board. This board needs to have some priorities that they want to see our legislators work toward to help us in this county. That's on the 23rd. I don't know when we're gonna have time to meet on that, but we need to get that straight.
Supervisor Gray, did
Yes,
they
ma'am.
get a time, because I know I saw that, but they didn't have a time.
Which one?
At that legislative breakfast.
And where is it gonna be?
7:30 probably, actually.
Yeah, it used to be at 7:30.
It's at the Grand, isn't it?
Where is it?
The
At the
Grand.
Grand.
At the Grand Hotel. That's all, would that be next Monday?
Yes.
Next Monday, January.
No.
That's next
Yes,
Monday.
yes, it is.
Yeah. That concludes your report, Supervisor?
No, I got one thing that I always do.
Okay.
I'm looking for. Okay. Mine simply goes out to Shirley Frazier and her family. She lost her sister, and the Green family, the Watson family, the Bowie family, the Alexander family, the Johnson family, and the McNeil family, and the Smith family. And that concludes my report.
Supervisor Hutchins.
Okay, I think I've already brought up about the South Palestine Road being one of the worst roads in the county. And it is on a 4-year road plan. I think we already discussed about Robbie trying to get a figure to see if we could do about 2 miles of that road. I also discussed the striping of the Liberty Road and Duck Pond Road. So I'm just waiting back to hear from the engineer on that. And he said it would be late February, so that's been taken care of. And that's pretty much all I have, because I was gonna ask questions about the legislative breakfast, but I got that information.
All right. Supervisor Mills.
Yes, sir. I know Fire Coordinator Darrell Smith made a comment about some possibility of some weather tomorrow. In the past, the county administrator has made that decision on closing county offices, and I just want to make sure we're in the right spot tomorrow on who's going to make that call, if need be. Everything I'm seeing looks like it's probably going to get worse after closing time, but just something we need to think about.
All right, well,
I'll stay in touch with Brad.
Okay.
Or Daryl, and Daryl.
The other, do we have any updates on leaders and hangers?
We asked for it last week.
Last we heard this under review with the attorneys, with MEMA attorneys have it. It's under review with them. It should be something this week. It said last week, but it should be maybe something this week, what we're getting at our office now. I mean, that's, so we'll check again this week.
You know, on all that we all just sat in here and went through, I'm not gonna get into details, I'm not gonna get deep into it. I'm just gonna say kind of what I said last meeting. And when you sit at this table, you have to make a hard decision. And when I got elected, I vowed to the community that I'd run this county like a business. And you gotta make decisions that benefit not me and not everybody sitting at this table, but everybody else who lives in this community and pays taxes. And those decisions are not easy. And you don't take them lightly, but I stand with the decision I made because I feel like this was the decision that was best for everybody involved, and that's the last, and I'm gonna talk about this moving forward. That's all I have, President.
all right, Supervisor Wilson.
Yeah, this has been an interesting meeting. Yeah, certainly that decision wasn't made lightly by me either, Wes, and I hope I explained it as best I could to people, and it certainly didn't involve one executive session or anything else. It was a bunch of things that were gathering up and kind of snowballing. But I hate it for her. I really do. I didn't want to do that either. But that's what we have to do sometimes. Things we don't want to do. I do it all the time in my business. I think Robbie kind of took care of most of the things that I wanted to talk about. Leaders and hangers aren't taken care of, so therefore my request for paying down the debt with the CARES Act money is pretty much off the table until that comes along, or we get more money in.
I emailed you the debt service sheet and a copy of the rest of the board members too, so you have the same thing. If you want it broken down more, we certainly can do that as an Excel sheet. I don't know how you are with it. I've sent that over to the board. If you want more specific information, we can certainly pull it out and do it. Let you make that determination, the board make that determination for that kind of stuff.
Is the money back in place to?
There are still money in the American Recovery Act. We still have a balance with it. Is all of it back? And of course, some of it's going to be used for our road project and one from Morgantown Road as grant funds. There's already some stuff in there, $100,000. So certainly there are some stuff that is we've committed to spending. But there's still those two, the EWP and the leaders and hangers are out.
Okay, I guess I need an accounting of the CARES Act money as
sure. Well,
to next meeting, so I can make
send that to you.
We can make a decision on that, because I hate to see this keep riding out, because we just keep burning our money, in my opinion. While we're gaining 0.5% interest on what is left in there, we're paying anywhere from 3 to 4% or more on the money we owe, and that's what I keep trying to get, through to everybody. So with that, I'll end my report.
All right, Deputy Clerk President.
I don't have anything.
She'll have anything. Chancellor Clerk Brandon Lewis.
I have a number of things to spread across the minutes. This was provided to me this morning. Pierce Beach was working with Judge Sanders, and this is just an order reassigning him over to our new judge, which is Judge Norman Drake. We just need to have that spread across the minutes.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Brandon, who is that now?
Pierce Beach, he's the staff attorney. He was for Judge Sanders, and now that Judge Drake is in that position, she's keeping him, but she has to reappoint him under her. Yeah, and then we'll have to send it to the AOC.
I got you.
Yep.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
We have an amendment from ICE, of course Civic. It's just some internal modifications, nothing affecting the county, you just need to have that spread across the minutes.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson properly moved by Supervisor Milton and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Judge Brown asked that I present this to the board. There was a statutory modification as of January the 1st of 2023, increasing the compensation for youth and county court judges. The funds are being paid by the state. There's no additional funds obligated by the county. It's moving the salary from $145,000 to $154,000, but that does have to be spread across the minutes.
You heard the request of the Chancery Clerk. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. Been properly second by Supervisor Milton. Any discussion?
So that's just for Judge Brown?
Just for Judge Brown, yes.
The other judges they are set by state and they already approved it to the state. So he's a county judge, he technically has to be approved by the board of supervisors and then the state pays for it.
Any more discussion?
No, sir, go ahead.
All right. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
We have, Ms. Martin was hired as the comptroller, and I believe the board had set her pay at $55,000, but it appears that the pay and move form was never done, so we need to have that done and have it spread across the minutes for January payroll. So,
You heard the request of the county administrator. It's been properly moved. I keep saying county administrator, Chancellor Clerk. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Pleased to announce our 2021 audit was complete. As of December the 7th, 2022, I have the reports for each of the supervisors that Bridgers asked that I provide to you. It's right here, I'll give it to you in just a minute. Just need to have this correspondence spread across the minutes that states that they completed the audit, the state has signed off on the audit, and we're glad to have 2021 under our belt, and I've asked them to go ahead and start 2022 ASAP.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? There be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Have the milk tracking report for the Adams County Sheriff's Office for December 2022. You have that spread across the minutes, please.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson, properly seconded by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Under the new, policy that was set in place by the county on any budget amendment request, those have to be presented by the department head to the county administrator, the interim county administrator. And then we have a panel of Mr. Slover, myself, and then we had two supervisors here. We had the president and the vice president present. We had a request from Ms. Blanton. She is the new HR, and she needed a small increase in her supplies budget. Currently, her budget is set at $500. She's asking for an increase of $400 to up to $900 for her supply budget. Just needing to, everything's going up, prices of everything are going up, so she's just asking that to be increased from $500 to $900.
Yeah, you heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly seconded by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion?
For the minutes, that's.
You got discussion?
Yes,
Yeah,
I was just
that's
gonna,
discussion.
yeah,
Okay.
I forgot to put the fund number on there. For purposes of the minutes, the fund number is 001-140-603 that's being amended, so.
Okay, and some of these people that came in here with us, they wanted more money, but what can you get by with, is what the question that was asked, so the number was higher, so we got it down to something they could live with and we could live with, so.
All right, any more discussion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. All right.
Ms. Martin had 3 requests. There was a one-time purchase that's done annually in January for receipt books. The cost has gone up, so she actually has the invoice that they submitted showing what the actual cost for those is. It will be a one-time expenditure. If you don't want to do all 3 of these at the same time.
Yes,
okay.
do them all.
So it was a request for $1,500 increase in fund number 001-125-600. Then she also, the HR director was moved back over to the sanitation area. She took the desk that was in the HR office. Unfortunately, the one that was in Ms. Martin's office was in shambles. So she had to get a desk and an office chair at Credenza. There was no money in her budget for furniture. So the actual amount of the furnishings were $2,185. So she's asking for that to be put in fund number 001-125-919. And then the last item, bless you. There was a cable bill, I believe, of some sort that was not budgeted. The total amount for the annual budget number that's needed is $200, and there was just no money in that fund to pay for that utility bill. So the total increase is $3,885, and that last fund number is 001-125-510. So,
You heard the request, Chancellor Kirk. Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion? Already vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
just circulate the audit report to you. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Attorney Scott Slover.
Yes, as y'all know, we have a meeting at 1:30. I'm probably gonna have a couple of things to do after that meeting or right before that meeting. I'm just waiting on something back from bookkeeping, but I'll shoot that over to you before we do it. I just need the only thing I've got is to approve the emergency contract that we entered with the garbage. Remember, we had, under emergency case, we made finding that there's an emergency, president then submits the contract and we enter a certificate saying we've done that and y'all approve it.
Yeah.
So I need a motion to do that?
You heard the attorney. It's been, need a motion, been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson and properly seconded by Supervisor Gray. The, motion to approve the emergency contract. Any discussion? No discussion, all, in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
And I believe our coroner had a report before we went into executive session.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Good
afternoon. How are you?
I'm usually not here, however, I wanted to make the board aware of the fact that COVID is still alive. However, we had 20 COVID deaths in 2022, the last one being in October of last year. We haven't had nothing since October, but be aware, we did have 20 cases now. At one time, we had 20 cases a month. But we had 20 for the entire year. Be aware of that. And also, even though I feel kind of bad because I have gotten slack myself, masks are still in order, especially in places like this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee, I got something I need to show you.
All right.
I'll just walk out the back door if you don't mind.
Not a problem.
And I'll be right back.
Come to, all right, on last meeting, I, looked over because it was, stuck with some papers, but on today, I need, a motion to accept the retirement letter of, Don Bates, which our maintenance supervisor over the courthouse, and he will be leaving on February 28th, will be his last day of retirement. So can I get a motion to?
That we accept the resignation letter from Don Bates.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Let the record reflect, It was unanimous decision, but Supervisor Wilson was out of the room.
Mr. President, what was that
Supervisor
date?
Green. February 28th.
So, are we gonna try to hire somebody to put in his place before he leave, like we do everybody else?
That's gonna be up to the board. We do have 2 more meetings before, so I mean, if you wanna start,
No, I'm just asking.
I mean,
We could do it probably the first meeting.
yeah, I would think we can get with Don and probably do the first meeting if that'd be all right with you.
We do it the first meeting, and then we do the application, then when the person get here.
Yeah, we would need to begin advertising now.
Well,
Right.
can I get,
Motion for advertising.
can I get a motion to advertise? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson to advertise for,
Advertise.
I mean, Milton.
It gets tricky, don't it?
Yeah, you know, messing up my mind, right? I need a laugh. We need-
You made a motion, you ain't even been recorded.
All right, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, get probably second, to advertise for maintenance supervisor for, Don Bates. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right.
Mr. President,
Yes,
you
sir.
run that by Supervisor Wilson in case he didn't hear it? Or did you hear it?
Which one?
Don Bates retired in February, and we accepted his resignation letter, and we made, a motion to, advertise
For
for
2
his job.
All right.
2
Yeah,
weeks.
he had told me and I
Maybe
was
the
like,
same.
he's my age, where you going, man?
All right, Mississippi Association of Supervisors, had an advertisement, if we wanted to do a ad in the Mississippi Association of Supervisors book. A half page would be $500, full page $800, and a double spread would be $1,200. And it's, up to the board if they want to, do an ad. And what's the pleasure of the board?
I don't care nothing about that, to be honest.
Who is that?
Mississippi Association of Supervisors.
I don't think we ever did it. We ain't never did it.
I'm not for that.
We never did it.
All right. I didn't read this last time because they said it was because of the date, but it's, I think Corvette said it was a date, misprint. It's the Natchez, Music Festival. It's, planning, it says 2022 season, but I guess it's the 2023 season. But, I'm not gonna read the entire thing, but what I will read is they need a donation amount of $10,000, which will greatly enhance our chances of having another successful season that we may continue with the annual effort. Thank you and support, Ms. Diane Glaze, Chairman. So, what's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. President, what was the date on that?
The date is December 15 of 22, and it's, but they said it's she said it was a misprint. That's why I didn't read it last time, but they said it was for, the misprint should have been for this year. It should be 23.
Is that the Natchez Literary?
No, this is music, Natchez Music Festival with the city of Natchez and Ms. Lou. Hoping the Adams County will once again be generous in the financial support. In the 2022 season, we were successful with a large because of your generosity support. There's a 31-year celebration of passport concerts, celebration of different generations of music from all over the world.
Mr. President, I think Brandy need to look at the appropriation sheet.
That's what I just asked Scott.
Yeah, they should be on.
Yeah, I thought they were.
Money for
I
that.
thought I saw that on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm asking the question because that letter says 22, and did they come during budget time for us? Cause sometimes when people don't come, you don't get put back on the list.
We put them back on. I think we put them back on. We went over the appropriations and we didn't change it. Yeah, I think we put them back on.
Just check and make
I'll
sure.
check on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Let me make sure I'm following up. Not quite. I'm gonna miss nothing this time. I had 2 eventful meetings, but we're gonna get everything out today. I'm gonna make sure. All right, this is juvenile detention officer. Charleston Beckham, hourly wage $12 an hour, part-time to full-time. It has been signed by Human Resources. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins,
Second.
and second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, vote by using sign aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously. And these 2 was the sheriff that would be on the next meeting. Well, I would say it has been 2 eventful meetings, very eventful meetings, sitting as president. But hopefully we can put this stuff behind, stay professional, because at the end of the day, I want Adams County to move forward as a board, under me sitting as a board as a leader, and I definitely want to move forward with me sitting under as a president. And so we can't do anything about what happened in the past. And all we can do stuff is move forward in the future. So I said once and I said again, I intend to be fair to everybody. If I offended anybody any kind of way, I want to publicly apologize, but this is strictly business, nothing is personal with it. So, we started off rough in the first year and it ended up rough, but as a board, we have had a lot of success went on in between that, and I would like to continue the continued success. And if I had a report, I forgot the rest of it. And I think I covered everything major. But with that being said, that concludes my report. And I need a motion for close determination.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly seconded by Supervisor Milton for close determination. Are we ready? Any discussion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor, use the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.